Hey, everybody, it's Tuesday, October 24th, 2023. I'm your host, Jan Choa, and welcome to the Giant Bombcast, episode 812, powered by NZXT and the power of puppies today.
Yes.
We're constantly fueled by dogs, cats, all types of animals, except exotic birds. The Giant Bombcast does not support exotic birds. We never have, we never will. Get those scary little almost dinosaurs out of my face.
Got no problem with them.
I got a problem with them. They learn to speak. I can't have that.
Do they? I wouldn't be surprised to find that, like, you know, in the Mario movie, it's the alternative universe where instead of being descended from apes, they're descended from dinosaurs. I wouldn't be surprised to find out that's true of Dan.
That Dan is
that he's a dinosaur?
Dan is descended from dinosaurs while the rest of us are descended from apes. That is where I'm at.
Can you describe to the audio listeners what's going on with my beard right now?
No, I don't want to throw up on my nice keyboard.
It's several inches down from the face part. The rest of there's still more beard, and in there is fluff. He just got it out, ladies and gentlemen. We have removed the fuzz.
Oh,
it's good podcasting.
Was that from? All right. Well, joining me as always, co-captain of the ship, Jeff Grubb.
It's 2023. I'm taking gut health seriously, Jan.
That's right. Take your probiotics, drink some hot water. Expert on hot water and other hot beverages and hot liquids, Jeff Bacalar.
That's true. I love it hot. Everyone knows that's me. Give me a hot thing and I'm happy.
We got
Hockey,
Mr.
the hottest thing.
It's the hottest sport right now.
Yes. Temperature-wise,
Exactly.
yes.
Expert on temperature, whether that's all things hot, all things cold, all things lukewarm, and all things room temp. Room temp, Dan Reichert.
That's me. I watched part of the Grand Slam of curling in Canada in a hotel room
That's
this weekend.
fun.
By choice.
Curling's a good time.
There's a lot of yelling in it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of communication.
Yeah.
Which one is the
No.
curling? Is that the one where like they're brushing the
Stones,
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
cool.
And those stones like only come from one part of the world, and they're super duper expensive and stuff. Yeah. That's
Why don't
cool.
we get into this?
We should.
I would curl.
Absolutely go
Curling-
curling.
Yeah, I mean, is curling very accessible? Like, I'm sure where Dan is now.
Where Dan
there's
is,
curling.
definitely, yes.
Jan,
By the way,
I
there
don't
is-
think you have curling available to you in any reasonable manner.
Well, I'm going to look now.
I think
There's a
I have
very
to travel
ominous
a little
weather
bit.
situation going on here, I think. So if a storm happens and I get knocked out, the sky is weirdly dark for 11:13 a.m. So
Okay. All right.
Yes.
We'll keep an eye on it. Keep an eye
Joke's
the
on
situation,
you,
Weather Dan.
Bacalar. There's a San Francisco Bay Area curling club.
I stand corrected, and now you got a curl.
You know what? No, I was going to say it smells like something in here.
what's that?
That was a little pre-show gem. Tune in live, and then you'll get the or check the Twitch archive, I guess. How's it going, boys? It's dark.
Going. I'm fucking mad at myself, and I'm never mind.
No, therapize this. Let's
Talk it
do
out.
this. Yeah,
Can I sit on the couch for a second?
please.
Yes, please.
Actually,
Sprawl.
I'm gonna lay down.
Sprawl out.
Okay.
Put your feet up.
Yeah. Put my feet up. I set up my. I've been in this house for a few years now, and when I got here, I set up my internet like the pro I thought I was, and I found out yesterday that I've been living a lie.
You've been using Wi-Fi this whole time?
I fucked my shit up and set it up the wrong way. And
Oh, you got that reverse internet. Yeah.
They were taking
That's right.
internet away from your
Yeah.
computer.
Yeah,
I
right.
reversed the
Siphoning
downs
it.
and the ups,
Mhm.
the Wi-Fis and the LANs.
Upsy dupsy.
I fucked up so royally that I was just handicapping my entire network. And I only realized it yesterday when I updated one of the devices on my setup. And I'm just like so mad at myself. Now it's not anything that's hardwired. So like this computer was always fine operating
Okay.
at full
All right.
capacity.
Okay.
It was just wireless stuff. And also the other drops that I have around my house using the Mocha technology.
Sure.
I'm just very mad at myself. Rookie mistake. User error to the highest degree. I got it all fixed yesterday. It involved a pinball machine because all good things in life do.
All right, Jesus.
How did you
could
fuck
happen
up
to
your
anybody.
internet? Your pinball fucked up your internet?
I
No,
mean,
my
literally, it's a
pinball
story
is-
as old as time.
Exactly. Okay. My pinball machines are connected to the internet. I'll have you know.
You can't do that.
And I fought, and it was because I received a new pinball machine that I discovered all of this nonsense, folks. And thank you, pinball. You fixed my Wi-Fi. Look, long story short, it's
what
all
was wrong?
fine.
What was wrong?
Okay, like I feel like 11 people are gonna understand what I'm saying.
Hey, those
I
11
wanna try.
people will feel represented back
All
there.
right,
Speak
everyone
up.
knows what. Okay, everyone knows what Mocha is, right? Mocha
Yes.
is when you take your internet, your wired Ethernet internet connection, and basically place it onto the coax
You send
wiring
it-
in your
it-
house.
Your internet comes out of the cable, it goes into your router, and then you send it back into the cable so it can go through the cable in the rest of your house. So instead of having Ethernet ports, you have coax ports that can act basically as Ethernet ports. That's
It's
Mocha.
also
Jeff-
a delicious chocolatey espresso drink.
That's
Of
right.
course, no one confuses the two, but thank you anyway for discrepancy, right? Listen, so here's the deal. I had 4 Mocha drops in my house. And when I say a drop, I mean like, a room where coax comes out. And that's the beauty of Mocha. You're like, oh, damn, I don't need to wire up my house because I got coax, because every house built between 1970 and 1990, like automatically wired it up with coax, right? So because cable was always a thing, and they're like, oh, all right, we'll have cable there. So they figured out the coax Ethernet thing, and that's fantastic. Okay. I put a Mocha adapter, which is the thing you need at the coax drop, which takes the Ethernet of the coax and allows you to have internet wherever there's a coax drop. I connected switches to all of those Mocha adapters, so I give myself a couple options there.
If you
And out of all of those Mocha drops, I put an access point, like a Unify, like one of those Ubiquity dishes, an access point, so that I can evenly spread out my internet connection no matter where in the home you are. Okay?
So far, so good.
So far, so good. Yesterday, I'm trying to connect one of my pinball machines to one of these wireless drops, and I'm noticing that like the internet was the Mocha like was connected, but there was no internet coming out of it. And a couple hours later, I came to find out that the initial entry point where internet enters my home, I had the Mocha set up backwards.
Like upside down?
Yes, it was completely
So
mirrored.
internet was never coming out of these access points.
So it was, but down the line.
Okay.
Okay, so like I screwed up at the entry point of the house, but further down my Mocha line, right, further down the workflow, I had Mocha working, but like low, like for like stations 3 and 4.
Okay.
So like Mocha's working there, but not in front. So like so there were parts where I thought I had a wired connection, and it was secretly it was a lie. It was a lie. It was a lie. And it's a much longer story, a much more upsetting story when you really drag it all out and unpack the whole thing. But I fixed it through the help of a friend, and I'm here to tell you that you should get a pinball machine because that's going to fix your internet.
Then again, we all who hasn't been there.
How can I
It's a longer story, and you'd be like, "Oh, Backler, you're such a dumb ass motherfucker that you did this." I did this 5 years ago when the internet first got installed in the house. I did it 5 years ago. It's been wrong for 5 years.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty upsetting, actually.
Yeah.
How can I become the Jeff Baclar of espresso machines? Where like I just get sent one, you know, and like,
Yeah,
hey,
I mean,
like,
He's sending up DMs, you know.
Okay.
You can make it happen.
all right. What's the angle here, guys? What's the angle where like, how can I convince a fancy coffee company to send me, a bad YouTuber, an espresso machine?
You say I've been very vocal about my love of coffee. My gamer tag's a coffee thing, and I've said this for many years on podcasts, and I would love to. You know, I've heard great things about the product, and if you want to
Dan's
send
my
one
agent.
out, maybe if you do comp units, if you want to send one out, I could do a post on Twitter. I could do a post on Instagram, maybe a story or two.
I bet you Dan could get all of us casted, including himself, the whole extended Giant Bomb universe. All of us wind up in a movie somehow because of Dan Reichert.
Is there a new Smurfs movie coming out? I would like to be in that.
What Smurf would you be, Jeff Greb?
I would be the lady Smurf. I think it'd be very pretty.
Okay.
What's her
just
name?
feel like-
Smurfette.
Is there a villain in Smurfs?
Yeah, Gargamel, and you look just like him.
Okay, I'll be Gargamel.
Oh, you are a Gargamel.
Do I? Let me Google this dude.
Listen, don't you think though, Dan? I know you're like the ultimate con person when it comes to getting free stuff, right?
Yeah,
like I have all the confidence in you in the world. But don't you think like talking about how you do it is like just the tiniest bit incriminating? Like,
I'm not a magician. It's not. There's no code. Also, there's nothing
but like at some
dishonest
point
about it.
No,
What?
but like I don't know. There's just something that comes off as like a little disingenuous. Like,
What are you talking about?
I think it comes across as extremely genuous. What's the opposite of disingenuous?
Genuine.
Yeah.
Genuine. Yeah, thank you.
no, look, I have all the faith in the world in you for this sort of stuff, and I never would think twice. But I just also think that like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
I mean, it would be
something that's not
disingenuous
sitting right
if
with me.
if I was trying to get free stuff that sucks and I was saying it was good. That's disingenuous. But like, I'm only trying to get free shit that I like, and that I can be like, yeah, this actually kicks ass. This thing I got for free. It's
Yeah,
a
I mean,
perfectly
again-
honest transaction on all fronts.
It's nothing but honesty. It's the most honest thing imaginable.
If I somehow can take that podcast clip of Jeff Bagler talking about mocha and convince them that he was talking about the fun chocolatey espresso drink.
Yeah,
that
chop
would be
that up
an
a bit.
achievement in editing.
Exactly.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And then it's like, oh, we were just talking about mochas for an extended period of time, and my coworker was getting it wrong. He got the mochas wrong.
But are you prepared to be accused of being in the pocket of Big Mocha?
I'm ready.
Yes.
I've been
I'm
in
in,
the big
I'm in the pocket of my Bojangles Xbox Series X. If you think my love of my Bojangles Xbox is disingenuous, then you don't know me, sir.
Jinkos too. That's a big pocket. You're like comfy in there. You're good.
Yes. Yes.
This is going to be the start. This is going to be the launch of this. We're not only going to continue punching down. We're going to keep yes-anding, and we're gonna get an espresso machine for me.
Yep.
And then as soon as all three of you come over, we're having fun espresso drinks out of teeny tiny cups, and it'll be fun.
I do wish that for you, Jan. I know how much you love espresso. I love it too. I want that for you. And, I think with Dan's 12-step course, you'll be on your way to getting free shit in no time.
Jeff Bagler, you know what else I love?
What's that?
I love podcasts.
Same.
Ooh.
I love when a new podcast is started, specifically from my peers and friends and family at GameSpot. Jeff
Ooh.
Bagler.
That is right, Jan Ochoa. What? You're just the best. You're like reminding me to like talk about stuff. You're the best. You're the best. This is exciting. We've been working on this for a very long time, and we're launching a new podcast. Actually, GameSpot is launching a new podcast because we are launching the GameSpot Review Cast. And that is going to take like a curated selection of the latest and greatest GameSpot reviews and turning them into quick and easy digestible podcast episodes, mostly voiced over by our own Emma Fife and Tamor Hussein.
Ooh.
Very exciting stuff. If you're someone who you're like, I don't want to read that review. I want to listen to that review.
Go click on it
This is
still.
for you. Yes, this is for you. So we're going to help them host it. And shouts out to Tam and Emma and the team at GameSpot that's been helping us produce this for a very long time. A lot of it obviously is a big lift on their end. So it's been really awesome working with those people. And you can start listening to it right now. The podcast is already live wherever you get podcasts. But we're also going to be hosting them a little later today on giantbomb.com. So if you want to like listen to it in a player on a site, you can go do that. And I believe there will be a story going up sometime today on gamespot.com that just sort of like intros the show to everybody. I believe there's Spider-Man 2 is up there now. There's a couple other dated reviews and whatnot. And what's really cool too is we're going to anytime there's like a relevant review that or a game that the gang talked about on like the After Dark podcast, we're going to sort of like surgically remove that portion of the conversation from that show and also pop it into this other feed too. So it's really exciting. Like I said, we've been working on it for a while, and that is launching today, and you can get it wherever you handle your podcast affairs.
Let me tell you, I I work with it's mostly two people that inspire me to be a more organized person. Those two people being Lucy James and Emma Fife. Let me tell you, I didn't know you could check off someone else's Asana tasks that have been overdue for an extended period of time. But Emma Fife be ticking those boxes and just being like, "Don't worry, Jen, I got it." I'm like, "Oh shit, okay, I didn't know you could see my board, but okay." Fantastic. Backlar, what is it called again for folks at home?
It is the GameSpot review cast. And shouts out to the Phantom Art team for a dope little logo we got going on.
Nice little logs.
Ooh. Right? A little logs action. So yeah, really exciting. I'm super I'm like half like proud and relieved that we got this up. You know, it took a while. Everyone really put a tremendous amount of effort into it. So thank you everyone involved in that. And it's super sick. It's just really well produced. Very proud of it. Go check it out.
Something that I don't know if someone else is proud of. Let's talk about games, by the way.
Games, by the way.
I'm sure a lot of people worked very hard on this, but I don't know if they can 100% be proud of it. And Jeff Grubb, this hurts me. All right, I keep.
I'm gonna let you say it. I'm gonna sit back and let you say it.
I keep myself very quiet about this, except for my love for Sonic Advance 2, which I still maintain is one of the best Sonic games. I sat through Dan playing all of Sonic 06 and just quietly nodded my head and said, like, yeah, this is a bad game. This was a dark game.
I mean, you can play it if you want to as well.
No. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. It's okay. It's all right. We already played it. We don't need to rehash that. Sonic Superstars, I loaded this up because I was thinking, oh, Mike really likes it. Grubb doesn't, but like I know that where Grubb falls on the Sonic coin. But the gimmicks
Mike really likes it?
I don't want to put words in Mike's mouth because he might jump in here.
As he's wont to do.
He's wont to do.
He's going to come here and say it's fine, which is code for it's bad. Because
when you say fine,
Sonic.
When someone says fine, you're just saying like it works. Like it turns on and you can play it.
Listen, I sometimes I know I'm going to need to say fine for things I don't want people to yell at me about. So yeah, most of the time. But when I say it, I mean it. Everyone else, it means it's actually bad.
Is it better than Sonic the Hedgehog 4?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah. I really like Sonic All-Stars, Sonic Superstars. Oh boy, is this rough. This is not good, gentlemen. This is not a good Sonic game. They had a good Sonic game. Why didn't they do more of that?
Wait, which one are you referring to as the good one?
All-Stars.
Or Mania.
Okay. Or Sonic Mania. Sonic Mania. Sorry.
Yeah, Mania.
Okay, and I didn't know if like Frontiers had breached into good. And
Frontiers is fun.
No, I'll back you up, Grubb. Frontiers was
fun. I'm like looking for it. I'm like, what is Frontiers?
You said a lot with one syllable there.
Really questioning fun.
Getting some mileage out of that.
Yeah, but the thing is, there's no questioning about Sonic Superstars here. Like that power that you get before like the first boss, where you just launch a bunch of Sonics. They're all dying. Like, what are we promoting here?
And you look exactly like them, so you get lost. It's okay, skill issue, whatever. And then you, but it's like it's just badly designed. It's so uninspired. There's nothing to care about there. It's like it's really, really weak. It's obviously not made by a team that like had a lot of leeway to get very creative with Sonic. They had a goal, get a Sonic game out, reestablish Sonic with maybe this like slightly updated art style. That stuff they did well with. Everything else, I think the music's not very good, except for a few exceptions. I think that the feeling is okay because it like they just took what worked with Sonic Mania and they put it in the background here. So that stuff is mostly okay. But then the levels are boring and repetitive and not interesting, and there's just nothing new that's inspiring. There is nothing where you feel like, oh man, this is a spark of something new. It is always a callback to the older Sonics, and it's either exactly like that to the point where it's like, okay, yeah, being underwater and having to get oxygen, it's memorable. Not actually a great gameplay mechanic, but it's memorable. And now we're just doing exactly that again with nothing sprinkled on top. No, like, hey, let's take that to the next level and do something with that. No, they aren't going to do that. They never, throughout this entire game, they never do that. And I found myself getting pretty frustrated. And then the boss fights are inane.
Yes.
They are inane.
That's the thing that bugs me the most is like I enjoyed the format of the old or original boss battles where it's like, all right, I can kind of cheese this. If I get stuck in this corner, I can keep bouncing on like Eggman's head and then get rid of him super quick. They draw these boss battles out so long when they don't need to be. And like it just completely stalls any momentum that you start to build up with a game. And it just, Sonic's whole thing is about going fast. Sonic goes much faster in Sonic 06 than he ever does here.
Yeah,
well,
it's a lot of waiting here. It is, you hit the boss once, and then he's got to go through his entire routine again, and you're not allowed to hit them that entire time. You got to just wait for him to do his thing. And so occasionally, after he gets through doing his thing, you can force him back into a position where you can hurt him again. But most of the time, you're just waiting for that opportunity. And there's nothing fun about that. It is just waiting and occasionally dodging some stuff, but you're just sitting around. So, and then the final boss fight is the worst offender with that stuff. And it's a lot of trial and error. And I probably spent about 45 minutes on that boss fight. It felt like hours. Like Mike warned me. He's like, people are saying it's going to take hours. And I got
45 minutes for a Sonic boss fight?
For the last Sonic boss fight, trying it over and over and over again. Like, I probably tried like 15 times is kind of where I ended up. A lot of those were like tilted like 30-second attempts where I got hit early. I'm like, fuck this, I'm starting over. But yeah, I like looked at the clock because I like texted Mike and I said, I hate this game. And I said that before the boss fight. I'm in the last level. Just the last level is actually really bad too. It is you're going through, you're like, why is this so weirdly designed? Why does this feel stilted and odd? And then you realize it's because the way that they're elongating this game is you're going to play that exact same level as soon as it's over. The second act is, I don't spoilers for fucking Sonic Superstars. Live with it. You're going to go back through that level exactly the same, but everything is in reverse. So it's like they just kind of like did a bad job. Yeah, Mocha, exactly.
Too soon.
It's like, oh, so he just did a bad job designing it both ways and just kind of called it a day. And so I'm like, I hate this game. I could tell that this level is just complete shit already. And then I got into the boss fight a little bit after that, and that was like probably an hour between that when I finally beat it. So I'm like, I spent probably about 45 minutes on that boss, and I hated every second of it. It's bad. I kept saying I'd beat this before I really played Wonder. So we played Wonder that day. Thank God I got this to get some of that in there to like really give me the urge to beat this thing and get through it. But I got through it. And
what do the gimmicks feel about it?
So yeah, Addie keeps going to it, and she is definitely getting something out of it. But she just really likes Sonic, and I think the way the characters look is pretty good. They got the fat little, stumpy Sonic, which is great.
It's shiny. They're shiny looking characters, it seems.
Yes, and I'm like, most of that stuff actually works surprisingly well. Obviously, I prefer sprites because I'm 40 fucking years old, but they did a good job of capturing that magic in this game to the point where I'm like, I'm pretty happy with the look. And if this is going to be the future of how these games are going to look, I think that's just fine. But this is Sega and Sonic Team going to Arzest, the developer, and that's the developer of Balan Wonderworld and the developer of Yoshi's New Island. And it's like, that's the kind of level of quality that you're going to get out of Arzest, because they are just going to do a job. And if you don't give them good direction, you're going to end up with a Balan Wonderworld. If you give them kind of okay Nintendo direction, you get a Yoshi's New Island, which is not good, but not the worst thing in the world. And that's kind of what this is. It's not good. It's not the worst thing in the world. And that's where you can, if you're a Sonic fan, I think you do come away from this going, maybe it's fine, or maybe you end up like Jan and being like, especially Jan, you played Mario right before this.
Yeah.
That's not going to help this game.
No,
at all. It is doing it no favors. You literally cannot go from Mario to this game. No one on earth would have a better time with this game than with Mario.
It's like one dude who is adamant that like, I played both of them. Sonic's definitely better.
You're gonna get
no, yeah. There's definitely
there's always that.
11 of them out there.
Just the most indefensible thing you could ever say.
The people that get the mocha are the people that are big Sonic fans, and they're gonna like this better than that. Absolutely.
I disagree. I think most mocha people will realize. I mean, I have not played Sonic, but I know Mario's amazing. So I just want to set the record straight there. Thank you.
I feel like it's similar to how Silent Hill fans must feel, where it's like, hey, we got something finally. We'll just deal with it. It's cool. It's cool.
Exactly.
It's fine. We're satiated for now.
Does anyone understand what that new Silent Hill thing is? That like Silent Hill interactive TV show that is coming out soon?
Yeah, what is that?
No, I don't really understand.
I don't know. I'm mildly interested.
When does it launch? And people in chat can shout out if they want to help us there, because maybe we could like sit in and watch the first episode and and do that live.
Oh yeah,
or
let's do an illegal stream and we don't archive it. You gotta be there.
Okay, I like that.
Well, speaking about going fast, Chef Grubb, you've been going fast in a car.
Yeah, I played. I can't remember the name of this game. I just call it Hot Wheels 2. Is it Supercharged? Is that what it's called?
I trusted you.
Turbocharged sounds right.
This is a sequel to the one that came out not that long ago, right? Like during the pandemic with the Hot Wheels tracks and like tiny car, big world type thing.
Yes,
exactly. The first stage is a bedroom.
I love that gimmick, by the way. I love
a great gimmick.
Being shrunk down in a big world.
Hot Wheels Unleashed 2: Turbocharged.
Thank you. Yeah, see, this is why I can't remember. That's just a bunch. That's word soup there, but whatever. It's a good game. So I played Turbocharged 1 right after I played Cruise and Blast. And Cruise and Blast is such a roller coaster ride. Like, you could tell it's cheating to make sure it keeps you doing the fun stuff. Right. But I'm like, I like doing fun stuff, so that's great for me. I'm having a good time here. And it's like, obviously a port of an arcade game, but they did a pretty good job of bringing it to the home and just making it feel like a good time. And then I went to Hot Wheels, and it's like this arcade racer that's kind of like in between, like, okay, you're going to be doing power slides and stuff like that, and but it's still going to try to be it's still the vibes of something that's like a roller coaster, but you're in control a lot. And I didn't like the way it felt so much, and so I didn't stick with it. This one I picked up, and either I'm in a different place or the game has improved to the point where I'm like, I really like the way this one feels now. The power slides are very good. You are braking into the turns, and then you're just feathering the brake and the gas to make sure that you could stay in the middle of the track. You're pulling out of the turns, and you're building up your it's an arcade racer. You're building up your power meter, and then you're boosting out of that, and you got really cool air control, something I think was in the first game. All that stuff is just working better here than it did in the last one. So yeah, I'm definitely in the mood for this game. It's really hitting better than the first one for me. But I haven't played a ton of it, so I'm not sure like what the variety is like and what the unlocks are like. Seems like that stuff is pretty promising. But in terms of the gimmick of, hey, little cars, big world, this is another great one of those. And I like immediately was like, oh yeah, bedroom level. Let's go. So yeah, I'm into it.
I wonder if is the air control gimmick and like the different controls and stuff, would it make it so it would be hard on a steering wheel? Because I was thinking about breaking out the steering wheel for that.
Well, let's think. Yes. Yeah, I probably would, because I'm like, some steering wheels have like a D-pad, but that's not going to give you need analog sticks because it's like both analog sticks to do full air control. I don't know how, like, this is still an arcade racer that's going to be for families. I don't know how many levels are going to have a requirement for you to do difficult air control, like Rocket League style air control. You're like, okay, I am doing a jump off this, and now I want to be upside down and sort of diagonal to hit this track up here to continue this. They're not going to do a lot of that, but maybe there are some like shortcuts that take advantage of that. Again, I haven't played a ton. I think that like having that option in there to increase the skill ceiling so you can get even more out of this is probably pretty important to like the long-term enjoyment of this game. But if you're just going in to have a good time for a little bit, maybe a racing wheel could be fun. I would probably recommend a controller, though.
I think I'm in the mood for a racing game. I think, I didn't realize it. You describing it, it's like, yeah, I think I could play some of that right now.
I think this is a one to definitely check in on. It's definitely working for me.
I was going to say the same, yeah.
I love the first one a lot, especially the track builder. That was tons of fun.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. That could be a good time too.
Yeah. I think just from a position of like timing, this is going to be a tough one to like fit in now for me.
Yeah.
It's victim to the time in which it's released, right? So I'm just gonna have to like put a pin in this one, and then 2024, 5, whenever I get around to it, is gonna have to be the date for this one. But
it's one I'm putting on my Steam Deck, and I'm gonna be playing it when I'll be picking it up there, here and there.
Sure.
That's that.
I loved it. I loved that first one. It was great.
Have any of you gentlemen ever used tilt controls while playing something like Mario Kart?
No, it's
no,
insanity.
Jan. Come on. What do you?
I don't know, because Dan was talking about like playing a racing game with a wheel, and I was like, sometimes I could just tilt that bad boy, but it never works how I want it to work.
You don't want it, even with the plastic gimmick, like the old Mario Kart Wii thing. No good. You don't want it.
No. Do not
never
remember
played Mario
that
Kart
fondly
Wii because of that thing. I was just like, I don't want to play. I know you could play with controller. But I'm like, fuck that. I don't want to play that game. And I never played it.
How dare you suggest it to me?
Here it has really good levels. I should go back and try that.
It does, yeah.
There'll be an 8 eventually, right?
Please, we're on to 10 now because Mario Kart Mobile is 9 according to Nintendo. You got to keep up, Jan. Keep up.
Oh my god. Well, what is the RC car one then?
Tour.
Yeah,
no,
Tour.
live.
Wait, Tour live? I think both words are in there, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, he's going to
get
check.
the little car.
I
let
don't
me
know.
check.
That was a 0.5, I guess. The kids love that game, man. They've never actually played the game part. They just ran it around and see themselves in the camera and then laugh.
Oh
their
yeah,
heads off.
it's fun.
I just found the track stuff to make the tracks, and I have enough room in this basement. I'm like, I should just set that up for like Christmas or something, and that would be like I've got the gift, like 2 gift giving opportunities out of that in
That'd
one
be
go.
sick. That'd be sick.
I see live.
Home circuit.
Okay, there it is. Home circuit.
Home
Circuit's kind of
circuit.
like a tour.
It's funny like how they play in home tour live circuit, whatever we called it. How when you're playing on your Switch, it looks like you're going incredibly fast, but then when you look at the actual Mario Kart in real life, it's just going.
Is that the theory of relativity because it's smaller? That like speed affects it differently.
I'm not ready to describe physics
Jan,
right now.
answer the question.
It's like
is
ants
it
aren't
relativity or
fast.
not?
Hey,
Ants aren't fast and they're tiny.
listen.
Ants are fast.
I saw
Ants
the
aren't
movie
fast.
Clock Stoppers as a child,
Correct, Dan. Correct.
and it has messed me up. The French Stewart classic Clock Stoppers.
French cinema, of course.
French
yes.
cinema, a fine entry.
Stewart.
And then
Nice.
he had said, "Oh, we're not really stopping time, son. We're just going really fast."
Didn't know Jan had a great French
I
steward
don't
in him.
either. I was not ready for that.
I didn't know either, and I'm kind of ashamed that I do.
I just want to see your face when you did that voice, Dan. Could you just do that one more time for me?
Son, we're not really stopping time. We're going fast. Really fast.
That's very good.
You know when you pass a car,
Turn a little Jimmy Stewart.
he has a monologue, and it's just stuck with me, and it's just like one of those stupid things you hear as a kid of like, nah, he's right. No.
Wait, Grub is
I
French
don't remember this
Stewart,
movie.
Jimmy Stewart's son?
Fuck, that would be messed up. Yes,
Can you
let's say
imagine?
yes. I'm not gonna look it up. Definitely yes.
Let's assume yes.
Yes, let's assume
Jimmy.
the Stewarts.
Yeah, they sounded like that. Makes
Uh-huh.
sense.
Huh. Well, that's just my headcanon now. God, what's another Stewart related to them? Little Stewart?
John.
Yeah. Stewart, the guy from Mad TV, the one with the legs. And
Oh, Dan, you know
The-
he's John
the
Stewart's
baby.
brother, though.
baby, yeah.
No, he's not.
God.
Okay.
Man. Anytime Mad TV comes up, I feel like other folks will just get filled with rage and disgust, and I get filled with joy.
I mean, that makes sense.
It just makes me think of In Living Color, and then I get happy. That's where
I like In Living
I get
Color,
off.
yeah.
me
What's
too.
Will
Love that.
Sasso up to, huh?
He's in stuff. He's in stuff. He's always got like
He's big on Vine.
he's got speaking lines in shows. I see him a lot. I
He's
see Will
different than
Sasso a
Jim
lot.
Gaffigan, right? They're two different people.
Different
Jim
people.
Gaffigan
Very
is like the
different
ginger
people.
stand-up comedian who always goes hot pockets. That guy.
Yeah, okay. And
Will
Sasso doesn't?
Sasso.
Will Sasso appeared on Raw as Hulk Hogan once.
That's cool. He's in a
Is
lot
it?
of he's in a lot of stuff. Like I'm just looking at his wiki recently. He just finds his stuff in like everything. I feel like I see him on a bunch of streaming shows where he just has,
Okay,
like,
and Will
a couple
Sasso and
lines.
Jim Gaffigan are different than the Mad TV guy that did the impressions, right? Who's that?
That's the guy who does Madden.
Yes.
Oh, Kelly,
Yeah,
that's
that's not
Caliendo.
Will
Frank
Sasso.
Caliendo.
Frank
Yes,
Caliendo.
Caliendo.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay. All right. Okay. I'm just trying to keep them all straight.
I played Madden with him.
I don't know
Frank
how you.
Caliendo.
I don't know how you confuse Sasso and Gaffigan. That to me is like
They're white pasty comedians.
not really. I mean, okay. It's fine. As
Well-
on behalf of all pasty people, no. But sure.
Chef Grubb, that was a wild swing of a comparison there. And speaking about swinging, Marvel Spider-Man 2, I don't know if anyone else has anything to say about it. It's a good game. I like it a
Game's
lot.
fucking amazing.
It's
is what
great.
I'll say.
Pretty good.
Dan Beckler, have you guys beaten it?
No, come
No,
on.
I
don't
stopped.
Fucking finish.
Oh, that's right,
video
Dan.
games? What are talking about?
You jumped off. You jumped off.
I
right,
stopped
okay.
after I did all of the side stuff, and then
Right.
I had 10 story missions left. And I
So
was
you don't
like, I'm
want to
good.
see what happens. You don't care what happens with Spider-Mans.
Absolutely not. No.
Meet the
Okay.
Spider-Mans.
Can I ask? This is a Mike Minotti point that I fully agree with. The people in this game smile too much.
Sure,
Yes.
sure. Yeah, they look like real dolls sometimes.
Sure.
I,
Yeah.
you know?
Wait.
I have trouble trusting any of the Osborns as is because I just
Sure.
know their characters from the comics and movies. And just seeing that motherfucker smile all the time. It's like, I don't believe you're genuine here, Harry.
Dan, you bounced off this game because of the storyline? Is that what am I to believe?
Honestly didn't mind the story itself or the way they were portraying. Like it's they're doing a good job in the cinematics and everything. It's just all those story missions were very long.
Oh, right.
And
You
I
didn't
frequently
like
found them
walking and
boring
talking
compared
and
to.
that stuff.
I like the open world stuff. I like
Gotcha,
the
gotcha,
combat.
gotcha.
I like the
And
challenges.
there is a lot of the walking.
Yeah,
He's
for sure.
just-
Yes,
yeah,
I just not my. I don't care enough about Spider-Man to push through because of that. So I got to that one Mary Jane sneaking around a house thing, and I was like, I'm good. I got a
She
good
does
25
basically
hours
get
out
the
of this.
Halo pistol though, and that feels pretty cool. Like,
Oh.
Yeah.
it's pretty.
The shockier
fucking
thing? Yeah,
gun.
that's fun.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Jan, does Harry Osborn look like Rufio to you? Because he does to me.
No.
Oh no!
No.
Oh, he said that out loud on a podcast, didn't he, Jan?
No,
I'm just gonna. We just move on. I just thought it a couple
the
times.
Filipino American community does not claim Harry Osborn.
Nor do we condone the statements.
Wait, listen.
He looks.
If Harry Osborn was like a person of color, that would be problematic. But if a white person looks like Rufio, that's just weird. So.
Well, I don't. He doesn't. I don't think he. But like, just empirically, I do not think he looks like him.
No, I don't think. I like. That's why I asked, because I went back and looked, and like, what was I thinking? He doesn't. But like, for some reason in my head, I don't know.
I'll say this,
hair.
Grub. You're not wrong. There is something weird about how Harry, the way Harry just fucking looks. It has nothing to do with looking like Rufio, but
Is
just
Rufio
looks a
at Kingdom Heart? Who is Rufio?
Yes.
Hook.
Hook.
Dante Bosco
Like
from
Captain
Hook.
Hook? He's Captain Hook?
No.
He's Rufio.
From
He's
the
the leader
movie
of the
Hook.
Lost Boys.
It's like you've
The
never seen
vampires.
anything from Disney.
I've never seen Hook.
Have you never seen Dustin Hoffman and Robin Williams and Bob Hoskins going at it in Hook?
They're all very talented actors, but no, Peter Pan.
Steven Spielberg's Hook.
I remember.
Was
I
it
didn't know Spielberg made that. Okay, I just remember it looked lame as a kid, and I didn't want to see it.
Rufio, the most arguably engaging presence in Neverland.
Disney didn't make Hook. Disney didn't make Hook. Thank me.
Get out of here, you Disney cop.
Now we have to sit in silence.
Get the abridged version of this, Boniello.
I've heard that so many times now, and it took me a few listens to realize he layered in a couple like his name is Mike, like in the background, like that happens a couple times. He
there's
snuck it in.
depth. There's depth. Yeah, there's shit going on.
All right.
Yeah, it's mixed. It's like completely produced.
You know who Harry
He has
Osborn?
time on his hands right now.
You know who Harry Osborn looks like? He looks like the actor Will Poulter because they have that same like face.
Yeah,
That's a good. Wow, you've got a good Will Poulter face.
Will Poulter's a good pull, Jan.
I'm just showing my acting chops here, folks. You
Do
know?
the face again. That's really his face. Yeah, that's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I could never get my face to do that if I asked it to. That's incredible.
It's
You
just
know what
like
you
a
got to
dude.
do? Backlog, go ahead.
Just like a dude who always looks like he's surprised at something,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
he's stuck like that.
What you got to do to get a good Will Poulter face, I guess, is and be a little poltergeist. Shouts out to the poltergeist gang. That's what
Nice.
his fans call themselves.
Of course.
Sure.
You got to play a game of Little Face at the dinner table.
I think I know what this is, but I want to hear you describe it.
I think this was a bit from Workaholics, where whoever has to cover the tip for the bill or doesn't have to cover the tip is the person that can make the smallest face by scrunching their face the smallest.
Yeah, I feel like Adam Devine's
Can you use
stuck
your
like
hands?
No. It has to be all face muscles. So
Yeah.
this is going to play great for audio listeners, but let's take a quick round. Like, Grub, prepare. I'm going to give you a count to 3 to make the smallest face you can, all right?
Oh, that hurts your face. It hurts.
1, 2, 3. Small face. Nothing changed. Nothing
I
changed.
just can't control my face.
It got
That's the
bigger
secret about
somehow.
me.
It did, right? Okay, Dan, count to 3 to make the smallest face you can, all right? 1, 2, 3. Small face. Oh,
No.
yeah. No. He scrunched down.
Nothing's
His mouth is very
moving
small.
there. Nothing's moving there.
All right. Jeff Baclar, ready? 1,
Yeah.
2, 3. Small face.
Oh,
That's pretty good.
Whoa.
It's a good
pretty
small
good.
face.
Small face.
You're turning really red, though.
Tiny. Yeah. Even his voice got tiny.
Oh, that hurts.
I don't know if
small
I can
face
measure
in
up to that, though. That's a really small face. All right. And here's mine.
Oh, that's
Oh,
pretty
that's
small.
good
Yeah,
though.
pretty small.
He's condensing
Yeah.
a
All
lot
right,
there.
Backward, you got to pay the tip.
All right, that's fine.
No, we cover the tip. All right. Everyone at home, here's your chance to do a small face. Count of 3, everybody. Everyone listening live in the archive, make a small face, as small as you
Pull
can.
your car over.
In 3, 2, 1. Small face. Wow, that was really good. That's really.
Whoa,
that's,
look how small you got.
That's kind of alarming. Don't do that anymore.
Good work, everyone.
Good work,
Yeah, well
everyone.
done.
Anyone else got anything to bring up before we get to the game of the week?
Is Will Poulter you guys are getting paid? Guy? Is that him? From the meme? You guys are getting paid?
Oh, yeah. Him as as like a teen, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
That's him? Okay. All right. Just want to keep my Poulter straight.
I've been messing around with MetaQuest 3.
Oh.
And the AR stuff is pretty interesting, but it is definitely in that VR tech demo realm of like, this is interesting for this particular free thing that they put on here to show off this technology, which I don't know if you've seen it, but like I went into a big like rectangular empty room. And it basically says, here's where the walls are. And the way you scan everything with it is really easy, actually, setting up the boundaries and all that. And so with the pass-through, it's full color now and everything. So you can see, like, I can walk around the house with it on. I'm go upstairs, talk to Bonk. Like, it's actually, like, way, way better now. So I went in that room, did the thing. And so it looks to me like I'm just walking around, like, my shoot room there. And then all of a sudden, you hear these noises, and a little spaceship crashes through the ceiling, the real
cool.
ceiling.
I like that.
And then it flies around the room, and it lands. And it's really effective because I'm walking around the room, and I actually, like, at one point was walking, and then I tried to, like, not hit it with my foot, and I was like, wait, that's a working spaceship. That's not there. And then all these like little like bug, like tribble, the Star Trek things, they start like headbutting the walls and breaking in. And so as your actual walls and ceilings start getting like broken, you see that your room it's like on an alien planet. And so, and your walls keep getting knocked away as you're shooting at them and stuff. So by the end, you're basically like, you see your floor, but it's just like you're standing on like Mars or something. And it's actually super effective. I mean, I don't know how many games are going to utilize this. It feels like, Astro's Playroom utilizing a bunch of weird controller stuff, but then nothing else ever will,
Sure, but does the walls that are breaking line up kind of pretty close to your real world walls?
Almost exactly, yeah.
Okay, see that's encouraging because that means they really can line up all these digital things in the world, and you probably can do a lot with that. But I'm like, I want people to like go in and like mod out like Conan O'Brien from Death Stranding and just have him be like a virtual assistant with this thing. You can have walking around your house or whatever, stuff like that. That's where I want this to go. And I hope the MetaQuest 3 can like have that sort of ecosystem where people are just doing crazy stuff with it. If I have to rely on Facebook to support it, that's what I'm worried about.
I don't know if you do anymore.
Well, no, you don't have to sign into Facebook, but Facebook owns Oculus. So
of course.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
There is some smart stuff I'm seeing now where it's like there's a boxing game called Thrill of the Fight. It's kind of like a cartoony, like Punch-Out style boxing game, which I always wanted to try more. But when you are swinging punches, even if you set up a boundary exactly where you want it, it's not a good feeling to swing. Like, it's just not fun to play. But with the pass-through like AR thing, it just looks like the guys are in your room. And so it's so much easier to avoid, the walls and all the stuff on your floor or whatever. It's kind of cool.
It's a Teleroboxer like. That's a Virtual Boy reference. Sorry.
Hot reference.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dan, how good is it about like tracking your hand placement and like how tactile is it, or is it just kind of like tracking like your hands?
I'd say when you're holding like the controllers, it's pretty much the same as like the previous Quest. Like it's pretty 1-to-1. Yeah, it works really well. There's cool things where it's like the I never did much of the hand tracking stuff without the controllers on previous Quests, but I did it here, and it's cool because like your menu where you launch your library or settings or anything like that, it just shows up like a screen that's floating. It looks like it's like as big as like a big iPad, and it's floating in space. And you can just like walk through your actual room and just like you grab it, you bring it over here. Okay, I'm tapping this, I'm launching this game. Like it's in terms of just quality of life, like just wearing it and feeling like you're still kind of part of the real world and walking around your house. It's kind of handy. Like you can, it's weird because it's using several different cameras and stitching them together. So like if you're looking at a text or something, or if you need to use your phone, it's kind of like, whoa, okay, you got to be dead center, otherwise it starts kind of warping. But the pass through is a million times better. I'll say that in terms of the game stuff and everything. Still VR games, there weren't like a lot of like killer apps or anything like that. I played a mini golf game that was pretty fun. There's I Expect You to Die 3. I did like a Les Mills body combat, like all this shit that it feels like VR games have always been. But I am going to play Half-Life Alyx now.
Oh, hell yeah!
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I'm excited to hear about that.
Yeah.
I was thinking with it's sounding like the pass through is exponentially better than it's been, and with it tracking your hands really well. There has to be some type of like good, like, I don't know, exercise program or boxing program to like really help you work on your form or whatever. Because I think some of my biggest problems with like VR boxing games in the past or whatever similar to that is like you're kind of just wailing, right? And then you're just building a bad muscle memory versus like a VR game kind of like not doing it strictly, but kind of like really enforcing the form aspect of it. Kind of like how Ring Fit, you know, you really have to play with the Pilates ring really well versus just squeezing it like a weirdo.
Yeah, I don't think we're there yet. Like I played the body combat thing, and it's just every VR. It's just things flying at you, and you punching it, and then just canned responses of everything.
They probably think it's not what most people want, right? Like,
but you tell them you want it.
Yeah, I think it got close to body tracking. It's probably pretty good at that stuff, but it's like that's a lot of extra work, and people just want to punch the thing. I think is what they think.
I have to add shock pads to it. So
yeah, there you go. Every time you do something wrong.
The vest for the Genesis that if you can feel every punch in Mortal Kombat.
That's right. The
activator.
Yeah, and that was
that the
one
ring
for Res? What was the one for Res? The transmedia vibrator or something like that.
Yep. That's that was a thing, right? That was a thing.
It's something like that. I don't think
Why?
It's something. Because they want you to feel the music.
Okay.
I don't know. You have to ask the Res freaks. I'm not a Res guy.
Shouts out to the Res freaks. Okay.
Yeah.
Grub, you and I have a lot of similar good opinions.
I think so. We're definitely right about Res.
Yes.
And no one will disagree with us. Yes. And many things. Yes.
Absolutely.
Agreed.
Something and media res. Okay. I'll find the joke. I'll come back to it.
Played a little Metal Gear Solid Collection. It's those games with some little bonuses, some music player, and some books you can zoom in on and scroll between. I'm glad they're out there and more playable.
What this is,
that's
right?
it.
It's available for people who were like just coming to it now and be like, okay, where do I get these games? Oh, you're fucked until this. This is not for you though, because you have
no. I've played them a million times, and also I would play like on shoot hardware on a CRT.
Exactly.
You know, like so yeah. No, I'm glad it exists if it means Metal Gear gets to get to more people. But it's like 3D All Stars in a way where it's like, yep, okay, these are all here now. It's got a little bit more bonus stuff than that. I didn't know it was going to have like VR missions and the digital graphic novel and stuff like that. So like it is a little more robust than I expected, but. It's those games, easier to play now.
Dan, which games are included in the collection?
1, 2, 3 VR missions, Metal Gear and Metal Gear 2, the MSX games, and Snake's Revenge, weirdly. That's how you can tell this is not a Kojima project. This is a Konami project. Yes.
Man, it's been a minute since I've played through 3. This might give me an
I played through it a year or two ago. It's still awesome.
Okay.
I played an hour of the 3DS, and that's all I've ever played. I know. I need to play them, and I want to find some time. I'll do it.
It's good.
Yeah, this makes me just want to play 5 again. 5 is
five rules. It's a
play that whole thing again, Jan? Like, what are you doing, man?
I bought it for $5 the other day on Steam, so it's like, well, any time with this is great. Just attach a parachute to some dudes.
Hey, that shit works great on Steam Deck.
That was fun. I enjoyed that game a lot.
Man, any time you give me a rocket punch, I'll love it. Just every game should have a rocket punch.
Any game where you shoot a thing and then you control it, like remember like Heavenly Sword, you could shoot the arrows and then like 6-axis.
Yeah,
it's like you could like Sam Raimi this thing, you know?
Like
the Sam Raimi mode. You're right.
I love Heavenly Sword.
Oh, he said it.
I'm proud of you.
Finally. Yeah,
it's pretty good.
Feel free.
When's the last time that gimmick has popped up other than like Metal Gear Solid?
Stranglehold, you can make the
I feel
bullets
like there was a game
nards.
just recently that had the Patriot arrow from Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Thank you for bringing up.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Movie.
Absolutely. God, how many times have I watched that movie on HBO when I was a kid?
I think we're probably neck and neck. But
yeah.
Folks are saying Assassin's Creed. Of course, it's Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, that's what I'm definitely thinking. Assassin's Creed, like where
Eagle
does
mode.
Mirage have that?
I don't know. All right, folks. Well, it's time to get to the game of the week. And the game, let me try and fix this Goggles real quick. The game of the week, Super Mario Brothers Wonder.
Oof.
Yo.
Holy shit.
Yo. Okay,
God
I just have
damn.
one quick thing to say, and then I'll let you Mario freaks take over. There's some levels here. It's hard. The challenge levels,
Sure.
little
Real
diffy,
hard.
little diffy.
Yeah, they're yeah.
That second
If
one,
you want to get everything, I think it's harder to find everything, and that's by design. I haven't found the platforming itself to be super hard.
is mostly the challenge level with the wall jump badge where you like jump up vertically.
I love that shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the one with like the spinning platforms. It's very early on, and I was just stuck for the longest time.
Yeah.
Stop doing it with someone else too.
Yeah.
Like especially like that first the challenge with the running of the hippo thing or whatever.
the hoppos. Yeah.
Tough
There
to
was
do that
a-
with 2 other people playing.
There was a lava level in like World 6 that I was doing yesterday, which by the way, I was in like a Canadian airport for 6 hours playing this the entire time yesterday and I'm just having a blast. And it's one where there's like this platform that keeps going in and out of the lava and it's just easy to die
Literally on
and
that
it's
level
lava.
right now.
Yeah. And I was playing with like other random people were in there and we all kept dying, but then one would be alive to save. So like we helped each other through that level. It's like I wasn't playing multiplayer traditionally, but the idea of like, wow, we're all playing this level right now and helping each other out and we're hitting the thing to like thank each other every time.
Incredible.
It's like Journey. It's
Yeah.
like, it's like, oh, I don't know who these people are,
It's
but here we
Journey
are
and
helping
Death
each other out.
Stranding.
And,
It really is a Strand game. Like that's not even a joke.
Yeah,
It's
it is.
an actual 4-shoot Strand game. It's wild, and it's wild how well it works. It's
And it
so
comes
much
from
fun to make
Nintendo.
friends in the moment. Yeah, from Nintendo. Like I'll have like a buddy. Like sometimes people will be like not recognizing that you're in trouble and needing help. That's very rare. Most of the time, it's like someone's like, oh. I was just doing my own thing, but now I see the one person's a ghost. I'm gonna go there and rescue them.
and you get that
sometimes
heart
it's like,
thing.
yeah, you get the heart. And sometimes it's like, well, I just rescued you. We're best friends now. Let's go through the rest of this level together. And that was happening with me on the lava level, where we were just like having each other's backs. And I'd like to like go through it and try to beat it on my own. But I'm like, I haven't turned that off because it's kind of special. It makes the game feel more alive to have these moments where suddenly we're helping each other out and we are rescuing each other throughout the rest of the things. So
yeah, or somebody
it's
left
really
a standee
cool.
in a place where it's like, oh shit, I didn't know you could get up there. Like that's super helpful. I
Right.
played a lot of it on the plane with no Wi-Fi, and it turns out just an amazing fucking Mario game anyway. But then when I got to the airport lounge and I got connected, I was like, oh, this is actually I like this a lot better. This is awesome.
I mean, us playing that multiplayer mode, the friend mode, it works pretty much the same way, except for you can initiate races and stuff. But that was a really cool way to sort of discover the early parts of that game, where it's like, hey, yeah, you could do this, and hey, I found this thing, and we're talking it out. But like once the voices go away, a lot of that stuff remains. Like you said, like there are levels specifically about finding hidden stuff. And it's just a couple. It's like a big room, and you're gonna try to do a couple of tricks with the platforming, or find a hidden block or something, or use the power ups in a special way. And having like 3 other people or 4 other people mess around and try to do that simultaneously. And you can't really see exactly what they're doing, but you can see what power up they have, and then they can put a standee down, like maybe where you're supposed to be. You're like, okay, they're trying to tell me something. You go stand over there and you look around, you think, and usually it clicks into place. And I found that a really cool way to experience those levels as well. It doesn't feel like cheating. It just feels like playground talk coming into the game in a really excellent way.
It feels like the next evolution of Mario to me, and like the amount of ideas per square inch in this game is just like like the new enemies, the ability to just kind of swap between all these characters on the fly. Like there are just so many new elements here that I'm like, there's a new voice actor. This feels like kind of a turning point for Mario in a really cool way. I thought the fireworks dudes you can carry around and they shoot the fireworks. The mummies where you got to pull their shit off. There's Bullet Bill, Torpedo Ted. Now we got Missile Meg. We got Missile Meg now. Big fan of that. Yes.
The guys that have their like tails hanging down, where you could swing on them and stuff. The
They
grappling
drop
hook stuff.
they poop the little ball out, and then
just good feeling stuff.
I
Huge
guess I didn't. Yeah, go ahead, Dan.
Oh, I was going to say, huge recommendation. I brought the SNES controller for the Switch, and I played with that this whole weekend.
That's
and
cool.
That
That's neat.
D-pad is really solid, and there's no drawback. I mean, the only thing is like, there are some you could do like this or motion, for some of those things. I never use the motion anyway, so if you don't care about that, it is like an ideal controller for this game.
Okay, that sounds good.
Just to take a step back, zoom out a little bit. I think this game, it's funny because I've been playing a lot with my kid, and we actually Stacey's been playing it too.
Oh, cool.
she's a big like Alice in Wonderland person, and I do think like the wonder part is like maybe a bit of like, hey, drugs are all right, aren't they? Kind of thing about this game.
I mean, it's always been implied with Mario, but
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
and
a carpenter. You got a plumber.
Totally. She said something that kind of stuck with me, where it was like, she's like, this is like someone else like made this game that's not Nintendo trying to do like, and obviously we know that's not true, but I understand her outside perspective of like,
Sure,
it's so different and so, but still very much the same hallmarks and all the same, feeling that you get when you play a side-scrolling Mario platformer. Something about the injection of new blood into this that is like really resonating in a way that it is so expertly crafted. I cannot, like, man,
it feels right. It feels good. Every new idea is not like just slapped together. It's refined.
Yeah.
It's just,
there's
bursting.
joy in this that was nowhere in that new series.
Yeah. I thought this when we were playing this on UPF last week, but like this puts any and all of those new Super Mario Brothers games to absolute fucking shame. Like,
no
flush
one
that
to
in.
ever play those anymore.
They
never
make
go
me
back.
sad to think about now. And I liked playing that. The Wii one, I think, is the best. I really enjoyed playing that game. When I think back on it now, I get sad. It's like, that's a bummer.
It's
kind of
like
thing to think about now.
when you opened up,
It's like Sonic
Ascension.
Superstars.
Yeah. When you open up Ascension and all these things in Zelda, it's like going back to like Breath of the Wild is now this like shackled experience, right? Where it really is amazing that like it is just so fresh and so like almost, I don't want to say like risky, but just like a lot of just wild liberties that I
Fresh
did not
takes,
expect to see. Yeah, like damn.
And you mentioned it feels so fresh, and obviously a lot of that comes from them like opening this up to a bunch of the young people that work at Nintendo and saying, just give us your ideas. Everyone's free to come here and contribute to it. But it's so contiguous about who's making these games. 5 people worked on Super Mario Brothers. 4 of them worked on this game. 4 of those 5 people that worked on Super Mario Brothers 40 fucking years ago.
The original one?
Yes, Super
That's
Mario Brothers.
cool.
4 of them worked on this. Of those 5,
That's
How can I live
amazing.
that long?
I
What
was
do I
thinking
do?
this today. I was so happy playing
They were
Mario
all like
Wonder.
20,
And
like when they did it. It's crazy.
how many things just from your entire life, your entire childhood, things that you've loved, have maintained their relevancy and level of quality the way Mario has? And that every other series, goes away, comes back. There's peaks, there's valleys. Their TV shows get canceled, movie series have their ups and downs and stuff like that. Mario, for my entire fucking life since I was 4 and played the first one, every single one of those games has just been
I would
a
die
delight.
for the Star Wars prequels to be as good as the new Super Mario Brothers games.
Well, like,
that would be fantastic.
Excuse me, they are
Mario
that great.
Sunshine was a game. Mario Sunshine was a game.
Is a
right?
fantastic,
We're not,
fantastic game.
no one's forgetting about that.
It's one of the weaker ones, but it
And
is
it's the
still
best platformer of that generation almost. Like, it's up there. It's so
it's
good.
an incredible game still.
I would rather play that than almost any other platformer.
Delfino Island music is in this game. That made me so goddamn happy. It's just straight up just the shoot track. It's like not even like a take on it. It's just like, this is just Delfino Island.
I get your point, Dan. I take offense with like it's infallible. Like
I'm not saying it's infallible. I've straight up said a billion times that like there are levels that are just like the pachinko thing, the raft lily pad level. Like there's it is not infallible by any means.
Sunshine. I'm talking about the lineage of like Mario games.
Mainline series.
I think but like if you like track the quality level, like. And then you do that thing where you have like a straight line.
Oh, the line
to, like,
is
average it out. That
it's
line
elite.
is above.
It's elite.
Yeah, it's elite. I agree.
It's elite.
Yes.
Like no serious person would try and argue that.
Right.
in the
It's like
opposite
a
direction.
bad season from Wayne Gretzky. Right.
Yeah, it's amazing. The like the legacy of it is untouchable for sure. I'm with you.
Because the first thing that popped up to my mind when you brought that up, Dan, was like, oh, Tony Hawk, but then there are big dips.
It dipped hard and went away.
Yeah.
Sure.
Mario never had
Pro
that.
Skater 5 is one of the worst things that's ever happened to me.
It's
that thing
unbelievable.
Project 8 is hurts me inside.
No, Project 8 I like.
Grub, have you opened your skateboard for Blake Club tomorrow?
Very funny. If you make me play a motion control game, I'm going to go insane, actually. So, okay.
What if it was Tony Hawk in those boxes?
Tony Hawk. Okay, well, that can make sense.
Tall box.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Dan, Stephanie Grubb is pretty upset with you.
Why?
Because you're like, hey, this is going to take 20 minutes. And my mother-in-law was here, and like they were taking a look at like the email together, getting the stuff ready, and they were both like, what is this guy on? What is he talking about? This thing that he says to do will not work. I have no idea what it is. I'm not allowed to go in the laundry room for apparently this entire week.
Made some assumptions about technology, clothing technology, that I don't know if I know what can attach to.
They know that. They know that you made some assumptions about things that just don't work that way. And so they spent like an hour trying to come up with some like new solution for what you want. So, yeah.
I'm like, my apologies.
Hey, I'll like go on Fiverr and get someone else. And now they're determined to like get it right. She's getting it there, but yeah, they're like, hey, this guy's an idiot. I'm like, I know.
I don't know how clothes work. Jesus Christ.
So that's gonna be Blight Club on Wednesday, everybody. If you want to tune in for that, I have no idea what to expect.
I thought you could just iron stuff.
She did tell me I have to like maybe clean up my beard a little bit on the side for something. So, oh boy, okay.
Oh, if you want to go full gimmick, yeah.
All right, we'll see what happens.
All right.
Super Mario Brothers Wonder, it does a thing, and it was very pure to watch your reaction, Dan, to like every little thing. But then I continued to have that reaction.
Yeah,
every little world, and especially in the overworld. You know, it's like normally there's nothing to do in that map, right? But we found that little.
It's a shame for the series. They had the best overworld of all time in Super Mario World. Like
yeah.
But like now, like you're encouraged to explore through there. You meet some little goofy goobers as you journey through.
Love the goobers.
I love the goobers.
They're like, you're going through the desert, and here's like a mirage, whole level. Oh, here's a tiny little puzzle in the desert that like, oh, I press these things and this happened. Like,
great.
It's so the game has so much personality and joy just seeping out of every pore.
I like the flowers too. I like that they talk.
I'm into them now. They're kind of funny.
They're funny.
Yeah.
They like don't get cringe or whatever the kids say. They never do. It's just kind of like cute and fun.
They got Riz.
Like, I want to be friends with that flower.
They got Riz.
Dan?
Yeah.
Someone in my family has a request.
Oh?
I don't know what it is about the flowers and they're talking, but like my kid thinks you are the flowers. Like you there's something about the flowers. They just say like, well, I've been here for a while. Like stuff like that.
That's why I always say that.
Yeah. I don't know why he just is like, Dan has to be the flowers. And I interpreted
next Mario movie.
Yeah, there we go.
Flower.
Well, sure, but the way I interpreted his statement, right, his sort of request, if you will, is that I just want to see you do voices of those flowers. Like if we could just like have you do a couple voiceovers and we'll match them up.
How
to
about
some
we
of
do
those
this?
flowers.
We'll have Sean take this part and clip this out. And then we take some silent muted footage of the flowers just flapping their gums.
Sure.
And then Dan, you just ad-lib.
Let me just throw one. Okay. I'm having an existential crisis.
I know it. You need a clean take.
Okay. Everyone shut the fuck up.
Okay. I'm having an existential crisis.
That's good.
Bravo.
I have to poop.
Oh, okay. Hold. Do it again.
I have to poop.
Tell them to make a small face.
Okay. Oh, there's so much poop.
Could you do one without poop? Like look
at all this pee.
That'll be good for the water levels. What's Sean? The deal with the red flowers? Why are they so angry though?
Yeah, is they like mood rings?
Yeah, it's kind of racist when you think about it. Like those different colored flowers behave differently. Yeah.
Yeah. What's the conflict?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I guess I haven't thought about it much.
Like that at the end of every level, that postcard thing, it reminds me of like when you get off a fun roller coaster ride and you see the picture of how much fun I was having. Just Luigi just jumping like what a cool little thing. I've been trying to find a place where it actually like stores those, but I don't know if it does.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I started snapping shots of it when they show it to me, so I can like at least have that saved, and if they don't show it to me later.
I wind up getting angry because sometimes they'll take a bad photo that I'll replay the level trying to get a better photo, not knowing when it gets taken. I'm like, all right, that's a better one. I'm fine with that.
Okay. How are you guys feeling about 100%ing this game?
I'm going to do it
1,000,000% on my way to doing that.
Already worked on it. I saw credits yesterday. I'm already working on it.
That's all the wonder seeds and like
The
top of
10
the
to 10
flagpole.
coins, top of the flagpole. Yep.
Top of the flag.
Oh, that counts
What is
too?
this?
Yep. Yeah. If you look at the, if you go into the courses thing, it's very faint. There's like a little check. There's a green check mark background behind the coins, and there's like a flagpole icon there. That if you don't have the check mark on each level, you might even be missing like a secret exit. Like it tells you right there if you've done everything in the level though.
Oh, that's cool. I like that. I love for
like
the
that, yeah.
completionist in all of us. That's very satisfying.
And you can also put on the sensor badge that will just kind of tell you when you're close to something.
Oh, cool.
So I like, I don't want this ruined for me, so I won't ask.
If you want to just like put it out there and tell us not to like spoil
I just
it for
hope
you.
that like you can have more than one badge at some point.
I don't think so.
I haven't seen that. Yeah.
Grumble. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Very
The
good.
vine one, the one where you vine to the walls, that's great. The one where you get that special little extra jump at the end, that's great. There's some I just haven't really used at all, but the mobility ones where you jump kind of high and do like a Yoshi flutter jump type thing. Yeah.
Backlar,
I think,
Grub, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if we do the Mario Grand Prix, we should have a couple of rules in there, sort of like a hockey penalty box, where like you have to use a certain badge.
Oh, sure.
If you like did something got like untoward in one of the other levels, or
The
something
invisibility
like that.
badge so you can't see yourself.
Something like that. Yeah, something like, or it could be random or whatever. So if someone wins while using the invisibility one, like that'd be really hype or something like that. I don't know.
I mean, we could do some where there's the Princess Choice thing where you just hit it and it just kind of like roulettes through, you know?
I like that.
How's the experience been playing with with the family? Because I know like the ghost mode that we've explored in UPF and like we've talked about is very different than actually playing with shoot people.
Yeah, you mean like how's it playing with bad gamers?
Yeah,
sure. I mean, I didn't want to say anything.
No, they're fine. It's not easy. It's
not easy.
It results in a lot of like frustration. D and I almost like switch back and forth on levels now because it's, I just don't want this to tear my relationship apart with my son. I don't want this to be the reason we don't speak to each other. So
you're joking, but it's I get it.
There's been some shit like
there's
tears have shed. It's hard. These games, that's the one thing that you just can't like shoehorn into these games. They just cannot work the way you wish they could as a multiplayer side scroller.
What I would do is like, you got the badge system, just create a badge for bad little kids.
I mean, the Yoshi thing, Yoshi and Nabbit don't
but
take
they don't
damage.
want to play as Yoshi. They want to play as Princess Peach, and she doesn't have any of that stuff.
Fair.
What do kids have against Yoshi?
He can't use any of the power.
They're nerfed. They're
then fucking get better at it.
Okay. I'll explain these criticisms of them as gamers to them, and I'll say this comes from directly from Dan Reichert, and they'll respect that, of course.
Yes.
I'm glad the game works the way it does for me. In terms of it being like a family game, it's not that really. It's not very good at being that. It has it's cumbersome, and it's not really a great time to play with like varying skill levels in local multiplayer and stuff like that.
And they
tough.
also do an interesting thing, right? Where like they trade the crown, right? Where like the crown is the one who decides where the camera goes, right?
Yes,
Oh.
And like I've noticed, and maybe this is anecdotal, I don't know, but I feel like if you are not wearing the crown and you get top of the flagpole, you can like win the crown. I think
That's
I feel like
3D
I saw
World.
that.
3D World did that, where if you were the top on a tag,
If there was, and that is also a bit counterintuitive to like playing with someone who's like never going to hit the flagpole. Just saying, like, it's
know how to jump.
It's not a. It's just not perfect. And I don't think there is a way to make it perfect. It's just that part of the game where you like want it to be this family thing. Like, unfortunately, I just don't think it can wear that.
I wish there was just a badge you could apply to any of the characters that just said, "Hey, this is a kid playing, and do as close as you can to what you do with Mario Kart 8 with the auto steer and the auto gas."
Right.
And it's like, they're about to run into the lava. Maybe stop them from running into the lava. Like, I think Nintendo's probably good enough to, at this point, of understanding how the game should be played to maybe stop that from happening. Now, it's not going to be as easy as Mario Kart. That is going to be more complicated. But they have some badges that kind of do some of that stuff.
Yeah, like
I want one that just goes all the way full bumper bowling mode for kids. That's what I want.
Yeah. Or maybe just kids shouldn't play Mario.
Yeah, I mean, it's not for kids, right?
Yeah, leave it for us. Come on.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
We've earned this. So.
That makes sense. No, you're coming. Yeah, you're right. Because when we were introduced to Mario, there was nothing but 40-year-olds playing in. I feel
That's
like.
right. This is the
we
Mario
were cool.
for dads.
It was the 80s. We were cooler.
Right.
Yeah.
We were smoking and watching R-rated movies.
Yeah.
We were all drinking beer,
Watching Jaws.
and getting hot.
Yes, exactly.
But you guys got to admit, though, for Jeff and Jeff here, isn't it so much better that they've got rid of all of the collision from New Super Mario Brothers?
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, I mean, that would have been a clusterfuck.
Well, I guess I should play as Yoshi and have them ride on my back because I could carry them through levels in the other ones.
That's an interesting approach.
Oh, I haven't seen that. Yeah,
when I do that, so I guess maybe if I play as Yoshi, one of them can get on my back.
Maybe you're the problem, Grub.
Maybe I'm the problem. Yeah, shit.
No. I'm going to
Addy,
defend you there.
This is where I'm at with it. Listen. I'm not trying to influence my kids. They can like what they like, but they are more Sonic fans than they are Mario fans at the moment. I don't think it's going to last. But Addy comes home and she's like, "Okay, what am I going to play?" And I don't say anything, and she says Mario. And she wants to play the new Mario. I'm like, great. And she plays it, and I was like, there's a couple levels that she could play as a 4-year-old. Most of them are there's too much going on, or they're too complicated. And so she bounced off pretty quick, and she's gone back to Sonic. And so I'm like, that's not great for me. As someone who wants to have as little Sonic in my home as possible, this is going to be an issue. So yeah, the game is great, and I wouldn't actually change much about it. I'm hopeful that my kids will come back to it later, maybe, and play it then, because it's not going to work for them now.
I want you to keep something in mind as you play it. I want to add a category to Game of the Year, which is Best Wonder Flower Effect.
Ooh, okay, fantastic.
So add that to the sheet. If you see something where it's like, oh man, this thing where suddenly I'm walking on the background or whatever, throw that in there.
I added Mario in a couple categories.
One of the early ones, it's when it turned into a freaking isometric game. Like threw me for a loop.
It looked like Mario and Luigi. Yeah,
dude, it's just so smart. I just, yeah, unbelievable.
It's one of those like they can't keep getting away with this, but I'm happy to let them keep getting away with this.
Yeah,
I'm afraid of finishing it because I'm having such a good time with it. I keep taking my time.
It's without a doubt in the conversation for best 2D Mario game.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I'm playing it.
Mainline.
Just 2D platforming. We don't need that. Weird distinctions.
I have a serious question. Is this a Mario? I know you're bullshit.
It's not. It's not.
It's not? Okay, fine. I don't care.
It's not what? What did you even finish the question? What's the question?
My question is, does he consider it to be a mainline? I don't care I don't care why he thinks it is. I just want to know his position.
There is no reason why. He's never had a reason. He's never said why.
Yeah.
No, it's not mainline. It is maybe the best 2D Mario game, though. Even if you don't have to be mainline to be great.
Yeah, it is crazy to think that a 2D platforming Mario game would be in the mainline 2D platforming Mario game series. That is crazy. You're right, Dan.
Well, no, because that's not following the path of evolution of the series. Like it's going back to like just the same reason that like the new series.
Hey, doesn't this? Going off Dan's statement of this being one of the best 2D Marios, I think this really cements the Nintendo Switch, y'all, for just being one of the best fucking consoles.
Listen.
Wait. Was this up for debate like last week?
No, just like there are some people that will still poo-poo on the Switch and assume it's like
they don't know what the fuck they're talking about if they poo-poo the Switch.
We had a place where we could have a conversation about that in another podcast form, and that was like the first episode. We kind of maybe talked about.
Oh, that'd be fun, actually.
Yeah, like that could be the subject. Like, is the Switch the best console? And like maybe take input from elsewhere and see what people say.
I mean, I was thinking about this yesterday, that it launched with Mario Odyssey and Breath of the Wild. And this last final full year of it had Tears of the Kingdom and Mario Wonder. And that's not to count all of the other awesome shit that has come out in those 6 years. Like it's that number one, and I'd say PS2, then 360, I would say.
Yep. Game Boy Advance is up there for me, but I don't know.
I love GBA,
yeah.
Yep. SNES, obviously, 64, of course.
Yep, of course.
Yeah. Other games like that I don't have the time for, but it's absolutely amazing because of the Switch. Octopath 2? I don't think I'm going to ever have time to ever play that game again, but holy smokes. Octopath 2 fucking bangs so hard. Fuga? I love loading children into spirit cannons.
Yeah, but like I like put together a list of games that like I wanted to put it like right now it's Hot Wheels 2, that Super 56 game. I want to play Metal Gear Solid Collection, City Skyline 2, Ghost Runners 2, Seventh Guest VR. I wanted to check out.
Ghost Runner's good. I only played a second of it, but it's
okay.
it's
Yeah,
good.
I think they just sent me a code too, so I'm going to check that out as well. Jackbox Party Pack 10.
Yeah, we have to do that.
And these are things that like are out,
Yeah.
basically, or coming out very soon. Yes.
Have you played NHL, Grub?
I actually just installed it this morning, and I was going to play some of it.
Maybe we should play a little bit.
Let's play a little bit. Yeah, absolutely.
I've played a decent amount.
Okay.
and, you know.
I think that'd be fun. I got it on PlayStation. Is it crossplay? I don't know.
Yeah, I have it on PlayStation 2.
Okay, all right, then we're good. Yeah, but yeah, there's I mean, ton of stuff still
there's
happening.
More coming out this week, next week.
Jusant,
Yeah,
the game.
there's
Alan Wake 2, obviously.
and this is Alan
Yeah.
Wake week.
Yep, we're here. WarioWare is next week. RoboCop
Yes.
is next week. Thirsty Suitors. Let's see, the Talos Principle 2, Smurfs 2.
Wait,
Grub.
when is that? When is Talos Principle 2?
Next week, it's November 2nd.
What the fuck? What the fuck?
You know,
Backfire to my code?
Turbo Sean, good idea. Jackbox as a TNT. That's a good show.
Oh, that's a good idea. That's a good place to put it.
yeah.
Fantastic. Let's do that. All right.
Yep,
yes.
yep,
Look at the
yep.
youth with ideas, huh? I remember being
the
fresh
neurons
faced,
that fire.
creative.
Yeah.
Now
It's
everything
weird to have a
hurts.
brain that works.
Yeah.
Backlar, I'm sending you a Talos Principle 2 code.
Oh, thank you.
Yes,
Cool.
yes. You should play it.
Business getting done.
Look at
There
us.
you go. That's a Steam code.
So hey, listen, Mario, 2D Mario. If they did a Mario Wonder 2, I would be completely fine, right? That if they did like, if they did
this
like,
series should continue. Yeah.
yes, if they did like 2 of these, I think that's really good. If they do 3, I'll probably still be fine. They're probably gonna do 1 2D Mario per platform. I kind of like, hey, you could do this one more time and then change it up again. Is where I'm at. I think. I don't know.
I could keep make Mario Wonder 1, 2, 3. Like, yeah, as a standalone series, it's absolutely got legs.
Okay, never
Give
mind.
me,
Let's Jan,
give
get
me
us out of here, please.
Wonder Odyssey. I just want Cappy back. I'm wondering how
Yeah.
Cappy's doing. Like, sometimes you gotta brush a hat off, you sweat in it, and it's like, oh no, there's mold. I hope Cappy doesn't have mold.
I want to throw that cap onto that flower.
Oh yeah.
That would be a monster. That would be a monster.
That's how you unlock like Cthulhu. Yeah.
Speaking about Cthulhu, we're gonna go take a quick break.
There was just one. I know. I'm sorry. I'm a bad podcaster as well as a bad YouTuber. There was one other thing that I wanted to bring up.
Please.
I wonder what this does to like the Odyssey lineage. I don't think it like touches it.
Oh, the mainline
but-
series?
Oh fucking.
I don't
Christ.
think it like touches it, but I just wonder like, you know what? I do think Odyssey had like a similar weirdness, right?
Oh,
Where,
yeah,
like,
yeah. It's just you
Yeah.
can tell it's like made in the same way
Yeah.
of like, do you have an idea? Let's try
Right.
it. Is it
It's like-
fun? Let's keep
sure,
it.
it's just another product available at the Wonka store at this
Yeah.
point, right? Like, okay. I just want to say that out loud and see if anyone had like anything intelligent to say. And Jeff Grubb, I'm glad you did.
Yeah. I'm here for you.
Thank you.
Listen, I think that if I'm good. I'm glad Nintendo's out here making games this way of taking their
Yeah.
time, not feeling like they do have to have 3 of these per generation, so they can say, let's come up with 500 ideas and take the 150 to 200 best ideas and put that into a game. That's clearly what's happened probably since the beginning, but really since like the Galaxy games, and then you get into Galaxy 2 and you realize, oh my God, they had so many more awesome ideas that they could put in here. And like since then they're like, oh, that works really well. And now they're in this really good place where they're taking their time with releasing games to the point where they hold on to them for sometimes up to a year and a half, 2 years completely finished before they put them out. And like now they're starting to like get to a point where like, well, if we're going to hold on to them for that long, what if we just sort of like just mosey through it and like take our time thinking about what can make this game really good. And that's what they did with this one. No release date when they started making it. No idea when they were going to release. Like, no, just keep working on it. And once it feels right, then we'll decide what we're going to do with it. And it's like, that is, if everyone could make games that way, we would be in a much better place. And the reality is most people making games are the furthest thing away from that, where there's so many pressures to get the game out in a relatively short amount of time. And I'm not saying it's hurting games, but clearly this is what you can do when you have that creative freedom and the ability to just iterate and iterate and iterate. And I'm like buzzing coming off of this game for sure.
Oh yeah.
You hear that,
Let's get
developers?
buzzed.
Just be as good as Nintendo.
Just be Nintendo. That's
Try
Why wouldn't you just be
harder.
Nintendo? They make so much money. You
That's
should
what
do
I
it.
would do. That's what I would do.
That's what they tell like athletes. They're like, be Babe Ruth.
Just be Babe Ruth.
Yes, that's what they're telling all athletes in
I do watch the
2023.
TikTok
Yeah.
of the guy that's like trying to teach me
I
how
was
to
gonna
swing
say
like Barry
be Connor
Bonds.
McDavid, but
We got
nobody
young
would've
Honus
gotten
Wagner
it.
over here.
I was gonna say, but come on.
Before we get out of here, Dan, don't go off on one of your tangents. Just explain why Mario Wonder. Don't say it's not part of the path of evolution.
Why are you inviting this?
Because I'm a miserable fucking. I'm going to be thinking about this, and I mean, listen, I can't let him win, but he's going to win.
It
But
is-
All right, okay.
There is a clear progression in that series, starting with Super Mario Brothers, the first mainline Mario game. 2 and 3 speak for themselves. They have 2 and 3 in the title. World, obviously, that was okay. Super Nintendo. It's we've blown this out, but it's still the same mainline series. World 2 clearly is not up for discussion. It's got World 2 in the title. So, and then Mario 64 launches the 64. Of course, that's mainline. Mario Sunshine.
Again, there's not been a single reason why so far, but keep going.
Okay,
right.
all single player Mario platformers where it's just a big quest and you take down Bowser or Wart or someone at the end. You're jumping on shit. It's just a big scope single player platformer game that is moving forward. There is a progression of, and so you go from Sunshine to Galaxy. You go to Galaxy 2. That's another one with a number in the title. That's obvious. Odyssey. The next progression. You got the cap powers and everything, but clearly big, epic, single player Mario adventure. You can't go back when you're determining what a mainline series is. So, New Super Mario Brothers, that series is not mainline because that was like first of all, it says new, like it's a new series, but it is going back. It's like a retro, like, hey, remember when we used to make them with like 2D? Wonder is doing that too. It might as well be called New Super Mario Brothers Wonder.
So the reason why is because it's 2D?
That's a big part of it.
That's so fucking stupid.
And it's got this different suffix. And it's got a different suffix on it. It's Wonder. That indicates that it's a new series.
Okay.
Like,
See,
that's like saying so. No,
I'm not really
why
going
are
to
we
explain it because it is a bad
doesn't.
reason.
That
and he's
line
just
is
put it out
weird
there.
because it's all the like progression, and all of a sudden, no wait, we did another like 2D like callback one.
It's a real
and
bad
then,
reason.
And then they're going to do the next like the big Bowser's Fury type, open world thing or whatever. That will be the next one.
This helps me because now I can deal with it because just knowing it's a really bad reason.
That's
a
the
Mario
thing. His defense
platformer
is
a Mario
pointless. Yeah, yeah.
platformer. That's the series.
Yes,
Dan,
Mike Minotti.
I just want to thank Dan for disqualifying Yoshi's Island in his own bad attempt to explain this. Thank you.
Oh,
How does that disqualify Yoshi's Island?
By
All right,
by
Jan,
your
take us to break. I'm
logic?
so sorry. I'm so sorry. Jan.
Wait. Why? Wait, what?
Jan,
what?
just fade us out.
How does Yoshi?
You said it to be a Mario single player game. You don't play as Mario in Yoshi's Island.
Well, you do when you get the star, and also it's just called Mario World 2, so that's just not even up for debate.
All right,
and
folks.
Again, fucking
We'll see you after the break.
I will scream that till the day I die. That Miyamoto
Jan, you're right.
agrees
I
with me on
should've
this.
listened.
All you podcast chuckle fucks don't matter
Should've
compared to
listened.
Miyamoto.
I'm so
all right.
sorry. I should have listened.
Folks,
I mean, I
we'll see you
stopped.
after a quick bricky break, and we'll collect ourselves.
I'm so sorry.
Jeff Grubb will rethink his decisions and what he
Yeah.
wants to invite, and then
Don't agree with me. He makes games. You guys haven't made games. I've got game developers and Mario's creator on my side.
Can I get a scratch? Yeah. Alright. Can I get a scratch? Yeah. Can I get a scratch? Yeah. Alright. Can I get a scratch? Can I get a scratch? Yeah.
You know, I've been watching a lot of Columbo.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yes. Always, all the time. So, Dan,
Yeah.
just one more thing.
Yeah. What's up?
That was.
Oh, is that the Columbo thing?
That was-
I don't know Columbo.
Okay.
I'm about to watch Columbo in a theater this weekend. That's a whole
Oh,
different thing.
hell yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You should listen to the podcast Columbros afterward.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
You
it's pretty
should subscribe to my newsletter, Columbachoa.
Oh, okay. I have a friend who, for 10 years, has done a Columbo's Day party where he has people come over and everyone dresses as Columbo and watch Columbo. And this is the 10th and final one, so he rented out a theater to play Columbo in this
That
weekend.
rules,
So,
man,
yeah.
that's really cool.
But you wanted one more thing, Jan, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Do it.
I hesitate to do this because I think I'm just assassinating my argument if I do this. But look, if I'm gonna shoot with you here. This is no kayfabe. I was playing Wonder yesterday at the airport lounge, thinking about it a lot. Just like, man, this game is great. I'm really loving this game. And then the thought popped up into my head, unprompted. Wait, Why don't I think this is mainline?
Dan, you can define this though.
You can change.
I had that
Dan.
thought. I was like,
Dan,
wait a minute.
You can grow.
I was
You know
like,
what's
wait a minute.
amazing? You know
This
what's
is like a
amazing?
full-on Mario adventure. This is like the ghosts don't disqualify it. Like, is it just there's a different name? I mean, Odyssey had a different name. You know,
This
it's like
is
it's
so
not.
sad. This is so fucking sad, dude.
Shut up! Don't discourage him.
I think
This
it's
is
progress.
beautiful.
I think it's progress.
This is magic.
No,
this is
it's-
progress.
I'm with you, Jeff. Of course it's progress. Of course we all want Dan to move in positive directions. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like you are describing that like your instincts say something and then your mind is like, no, I have to suffocate that idea because I have to stand tall on the thing that I don't really believe in.
Well, but think about it. I could make bullshit arguments about anything. I could say like, well, Mario Galaxy isn't mainline because it's in space and does gravity stuff. It's like
Dan.
that doesn't make any fucking sense.
We're aware of your gimmick about making bullshit arguments about anything. You don't have to
God, you're
refresh
so
everything.
smart,
It's just-
Dan.
I think
That's a good point.
I think it's a knee-jerk reaction. I just do it, and it's just
I mean,
it's how
maybe.
my brain works now. But then when I stop and actually question the things I'm saying, I'm like, wait, this doesn't make any fucking sense.
And really, it's fun to question things when you question yourself. Really look inside. Yeah, man. Wow, you're really smart, Dan.
I do
That's
that
a
too
good
much.
point.
I do that too much lately.
Here's where you just fucked your entire shit up.
Oh no,
Here's how you just fucked yourself for all eternity.
shit.
You just admitted publicly on a podcast that it's all a work.
Not all the work. No,
No, it's not a work, but it's
It's
it
all
definitely
a work.
But he's working himself.
I know
into a
I know
shoe.
how to work, and I will utilize that. But it's not all a work.
It's definitely he doesn't think about the why. Yeah, it's just the knee jerk, and then once it's like the thinking about the why happens so much later that it becomes a scary thing. I think is what it happens here. And
It's just a natural thing to like
yeah,
just lean into
everyone-
this stuff.
yes,
like I'm not. It's not a
absolutely.
grand plan or anything like that.
No.
It's just
Well, that's what
I
people
do.
say about me when I always think everything sucks, right?
But that's
Like,
true though.
But that's a shoot.
That's
Well, everything
true.
does suck. That's the thing.
No,
you
you
just
just
said
think
it.
everything sucks. A lot of things are awesome.
Yes, but most things suck. But there's plenty of things I do like.
You go to
so
a
come on.
vacuum shop. Everything sucks here. All right, news.
I didn't say it was mainline. I questioned why I thought that it wasn't. For the record.
and you had no
Okay.
reason why it
As,
was.
I'm
as
still-
if
I'll
you're
protect
the
the fucking
arbiter.
business. All right.
As if you're the fucking gatekeeper.
I'm a Mario historian. I have a Guinness World Record.
Gaslight,
for it, so, yes.
gatekeep,
Oh, cool. Yes.
girl boss.
The validated over and over authenticity and value of a fucking Guinness record. Thank you.
Mine did. That's a shoot. Mine
It
did.
would probably the most difficult thing in the world to be a tour guide for the four of us. Because we
Oh,
would just
yeah.
get stuck on one thing, and then the poor tour guide's like, all right, guys, we still got a lot of
We
tour
show
left.
this next thing, and we'd still be arguing about the thing 4 things ago. Yes, absolutely. Switch 2 rumors. Nintendo Switch 2 may feature Ray reconstruction, DLSS 3.5, and have 2 SKUs, one digital, one is all digital.
Is Ray? What was it?
Ray reconstruction. You
Is
got to
he related?
reconstruct your Ray.
Is he related to ray tracing?
Yes,
Or
Dr. Ray Tracing.
Romano.
They're
And Ray-
brothers.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
brothers.
Yes. Listen, this is all a bunch of NVIDIA features that they're talking about, and then the 2 SKUs and all digital, and then the one that has a physical, card slot as well. That's something everyone else is doing. Nintendo's probably going to do that as well, so that they can have a slightly more affordable version on the shelves. This stuff sounds plausible, but I just don't know. I don't need ray tracing on my Switch.
No.
Other than the fact I think developers may want it to be like uniform, or NVIDIA wants it because it's like more promoting NVIDIA RTX features in a lot more games. And for them, if Nintendo has the NVIDIA style ray tracing, that means more games are just going to support it, and then that stuff can come to PC, and that helps benefit them in both directions. But I don't know. Are you guys getting out of bed for ray tracing these days?
No.
Nah.
I get in
No.
bed for ray tracing.
Okay, well that's a little different. Yeah.
Whoa. Mood lighting,
like,
huh?
Like
Yeah.
I have a hard time imagining we're going to get to the close to the launch of the Nintendo Switch 2, whatever they call it, and one of the features in like the big reveal is going to be, and it has ray tracing. I just don't think Nintendo's going to go down like that route of like using buzzwords in that way. But I don't know. Maybe they do.
That's never really been their approach. I feel like the last time they tried to like keep up with the Joneses on a technical level was that GameCube generation, where it was like, okay, you could have a game on all three platforms and they pretty much look similar. Like once the Wii came out, it was like clearly more underpowered, and they didn't really care.
They've never once cared about specs. They're not going to start now, right?
Yep.
Like, and to start with the ray trace, like, come on.
I still, they're working very close with NVIDIA. They have a long-term partnership with NVIDIA. Their next 3 systems are probably going to be all NVIDIA backed, into the future. And so I think that strong relationship means that NVIDIA will bring them, hey, we're working on this system on a chip, and we're going to give you this and this and this, and all this stuff is just going to work, and it's going to be in there, and developers are going to love it. And I think Nintendo goes, yeah, how much does it cost? And it's like, okay, well, if you can make it affordable for us to buy a billion of these, then yeah, we'll do it. Otherwise, fucking take that shit out. And if taking that stuff out makes it more affordable, then they'll probably consider that. What's happening here is NVIDIA's like, we can get down to that price and keep most of this stuff in because we think it's important, and we think it'll help you and keep this relationship strong, and it helps NVIDIA in the long run. But I mean, even if DLSS 3.5 is in there, and DLSS 3.5 is the one with ray reconstruction, which makes ray tracing look really nice, works really well. I wouldn't even expect most games to take advantage of this.
Happy to have it.
Yeah, right, exactly. It's not going to hurt anything, right? Yes, exactly.
Real quick, how would you
please.
guys feel about the other side of that coin of having a more affordable model? What if there was a really lush premium Switch 2 available? Of like,
if they have an OLED at the start and it's like significantly more expensive, I'm probably still going to get it because I play mine handheld so much and I love the OLED screen. It sounds like the versions we're being offered at the beginning of this next generation won't be OLED. They will go back to just your standard LCD. And so if to get an OLED, I had to like, there's the all digital at one price, maybe like $400, $450 even, and then there's the real big boy model, and that's $500. And then if I had to go up to like $550, like that's pretty expensive. But I mean, I don't know. I would consider it for sure.
Because I'm thinking about like how some people are conditioned to buy a new phone every single year, or like a new iPad, right? And it's like incremental updates versus something that'd be substantial with a Switch 2. And I feel like for an OLED screen, bigger memory, potentially better battery life, I'd pay the premium for it because of how much I remembered just having the Switch dominate my life when it originally came out.
I think that's totally reasonable to have a beefed up one out of the gate. Why not? Like,
yeah,
I
think the big reason is because that makes manufacturing more complicated, right?
Yeah,
right. Of course,
get that.
yeah.
Two SKUs like that, it's weird.
Yeah, it sounds like the 2 SKUs that they're going for these are pretty much the exact same systems, just one doesn't have a card slot. That's pretty easy to do, and then most people probably do get the one with the card slot, card reader, and then beyond that, it's.
But don't you think like, so you could still get an OG Switch, like not OLED? You can still buy that?
Yeah, totally, yeah.
I just think like, I don't know. It just seems like a bit of a generational step backwards.
It is
to come out of the gate without an OLED.
But it opens up the opportunity for them to do what Nintendo has always done, maybe a little bit less so with the Switch, but they've always done the thing where, we launch this device and then we have 4 or 5 different iterations on it. There's the DS and the DSi and the DSi XL.
Game Boy SP.
And the DS, regular DS XL and all this stuff. And then the 3DS had 6 variations, right? By the time it was all said and done. So it's basically one console launch per year, if you look at it that way. Mm-hmm. They probably won't be that aggressive. Yeah, mainline, exactly. And so I think holding that stuff back, it's kind of like a Madden, right? Or where it's like or The Sims, where it's like, okay, we're going to strip a lot of stuff out so we can then add that stuff back in with new expansions or new updates going forward. It's kind of what they're probably going to end up doing here. Okay, moving on. Dreams and Little Big Planet Studio Media Molecule is reportedly laying off 15 to 20% of its staff.
Man,
this comes on the heels of them announcing that they were ending support for Dreams. Not really surprising, but also it's a bummer. It's like, why couldn't they ever figure out how to, or what to do with Media Molecule, a really talented studio that did a lot of very creative stuff. And by the time that Dreams was all said and done, it's like, man, like that it never found its footing. They never gave it a chance to like be on PC, which I always thought like, hey, that's a pass that like a Hail Mary pass that probably could have done something.
Yeah.
Never even tried that. Instead, we're in a position where they're kind of cutting some jobs. And at the same time, PlayStation's visual arts group appears to have also suffered layoffs. This is a support studio in California primarily. They have a studio in Malaysia that's opened up, but apparently some people have been laid off from there as well. I suppose you could say they're in between big projects, so maybe they're cutting jobs because of that. Maybe pulling some contractors. It just seems like no, Sony is nipping and tucking because PlayStation, while that's very, very healthy, the rest of Sony not so much. And so making sure that PlayStation is as profitable as possible is a big concern for them. That's what seems like what's happening here. Do you guys think that Media Molecule has a future doing what it's done for the last 10, 15 years of making these player-created games or player-backed games?
I mean, I would almost like to see maybe more stuff like Tearaway, which, you know, the creation stuff in there was just kind of you determining like, okay, draw a shape and that's going to become the snowflakes in the world. And,
right.
You know, like I think they utilize gimmicks in a really good way. Like look at everything Tearaway did with the hardware of the Vita. I don't know. The success of one of those types of games, like a Dreams or Little Big Planet, kind of lives or dies based on the player base and how often because like they're pretty complicated. Like I tried, I watched all the tutorials and everything for Little Big Planet, Dreams, all that stuff, and it's just too much. It is like a whole thing you have to learn, but all you need is at least that like 1% dedicated player base to really utilize it, and then just kind of keep content coming out on the game. But I think the more complicated they make things, I think the harder the barrier for entry is for people to build the stuff that'll give it legs.
Yeah. And I think it's go ahead, Jen, please.
I agree with that to an extent because, you look at something where the creator base comes from the players, like Roblox, right? Like it's not an incredibly difficult tool set, yet people are still making several different modes. Something as scaled down as Minecraft, right? Still, we talked about this on Game Mess last week, where it still has an insane amount of popularity, and some of that isn't coming from people just playing a base game. I think the problem with something with Dreams is what is that base game? You know? Because it's too much of a blank canvas.
What's the underlying hook that keeps you there, that makes you like, okay, now I'm going to go. Like you almost need like this hub that you're attached to, like Mario Maker.
Perhaps.
Yeah, you need a PlayStation Home. Yeah, like Mario Maker. Like I like Mario. I'll just spend time here, and then cool stuff's popping up. I'm gonna go check it out. And even that was like really, I was having fun rivalries with like friends, and they would make stuff, and we'd go back and forth, and that's the magic of Mario Maker. And I'm sure that you could do stuff like that in Dreams. And probably even more so in Little Big Planet, but they don't have the same gravity, the same stickiness as something like a Mario, and maybe that's required for something like this, or at least you need to be winning over an entire new generation of gamers like Roblox did. So yeah, I think I'm with you, Dan. Maybe the ship on player created content, bespoke game releases has mostly shipped or sailed away, and they should find other ways to do that. Or maybe Media Molecule could be like spearheading something like a project of how do you bring player-created content into all of these PlayStation games, or something like a PlayStation Home. That could be cool.
Look, obviously, like there is success in many, many different forms of this type of relationship, right?
Yes, definitely.
Many which I don't want to mention.
Yeah.
And I feel like I really wish that this was the platform that took off in that way, right?
Yeah.
I think it's difficult to, like you said, the learning curve there is obviously a thing. Adoption's obviously a thing. But man, the quality and the creativity and in that entire ecosystem that exists within all of those properties is just absolutely fascinating to me. And it's just like, it's kind of tragic, you know?
Yeah. It's like in sports where it's like, not the best player, but he's always available. And that's the best ability is availability. And like you can get Roblox on your phone, your PC. It's really easy to run. And then Dreams, it's like, it's just on PlayStation and you got to buy the game itself. And then eventually it's like, okay, well, here's like a free version where you could just try some of the stuff, I guess. And, or if you want to create that, it's free. I don't even remember how they did that, but that happened like way later.
Yeah.
It's like, that those barrier to entries and then leaving it just on the PlayStation, it never really stood a chance, even though the quality of what was being produced, I think from outside objectively looked better.
Did it have an official PS5 release? Or was it always just PS4?
I think
It's
always
backward
PS4.
compatible, so I think they just looked at it that way.
Okay.
I think,
okay.
I don't think it had any upgraded
But
version.
yeah,
that
that creates an interesting problem of like, if you have to buy in, like, how do you increase discoverability? Because like a lot of people that buy in may just buy in for like the one or two neat things, and then like, all right, well, I'll check that out, I guess.
Yeah, totally.
Like they're, other than hoping something goes viral on social media, it is a difficult problem to solve to get people in the door to begin with, unless there's like a free thing off the jump, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and I think like what we're talking about is turning these games into platforms, and that seems like the clear goal. What if it was like not the goal though? Like, what if you were like Nintendo has their weird team? Or the weird team's like, hey, we make weird stuff, we put it out, and then we forget about it. We move on to the next weird thing. Like there's Labo, but then there's Game Maker Garage. And Game Maker Garage is a very similar idea. Make your own games in this thing, and no one ever worried about that thing turning into a platform, or even like selling all that well, or people being able to take their games out of it and sell those games. And it's like these are all concerns and anxieties that happen with Dreams. And it's like, well, no, this is just a weird Nintendo thing being a weird Nintendo thing. If Media Molecule could get into that space where it like just make weird stuff and no promises of some bigger, grander idea of this fitting into the overall gaming landscape. It's like, no, it's just a weird thing from PlayStation. Let's release it and move on. That would be good for that studio. And I hope they can like find their way, navigate the current PlayStation to make that happen. I don't know how hopeful I would be for that to be able to be pulled off though, because Sony wants worldwide global hits and then they want live service games. And I don't know if that fits in with what Media Molecule can maybe be able to pull off. And then for Visual Arts Studio, this is the team that was going to, or wanted to, they were interested in taking over Uncharted, and then they actually ended up start working on The Last of Us Part 1 remake before Naughty Dog was like, got pretty territorial about both those things and said no to Uncharted, and then took over The Last of Us Part 1 remake from Visual Arts Studio. That studio always seemed a bit like, hey, we want to do more, and then they've been sort of slapped down, be like, no, you gotta like know your place, and I think that's kind of hurt morale there, and now they're experiencing layoffs. So yeah, it's a weird thing, but also maybe there's a bigger story there that we're not aware of, and I don't know it. While Sony is experiencing layoffs, games are doing very well. Sony says Spider-Man 2 is the fastest selling PlayStation Studios game in history. It sold 2.5 million copies in its first 24 hours. They say that does make it the fastest selling PlayStation game in its history. Wow. But it's hard to compare it to the other ones because they always use a different time frame. Like God of War Ragnarok was like 5 million in like 3 days. Sure. Spider-Man was 4 million in 2 days or 4 days or something like that. We've never had one where like it sold this many in 24 hours. So they always kind of change it up. So it's hard to compare apples to apples. Either way, though, that's very good. 2.5 million copies in a day.
Yeah.
Clearly, we knew Spider-Man 2 was going to be very successful. It is a massive hit. For Insomniac, do you guys think they can maintain this level of like sales with like Wolverine and other things like that? It's
with Wolverine,
Wolverine's
yes.
popular.
Yeah, I think
Wolverine's
Wolverine
very
can-
popular. Yeah.
Like if we're looking at like the Marvel hierarchy before the MCU, it's Wolverine and Spider-Man are probably like the top two most recognizable characters, right?
I think so, yes.
Maybe Hulk, maybe Venom, and then even then Captain America and Iron Man were still bottom
Way
of
down
that
there.
list.
Yeah.
And then probably like the very, 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 very bottom is like Cyclops, maybe.
I don't know about that slander. I've done a lot of scientific research, and Cyclops is at least a solid 5 or 7. He's cool. Scott Summers.
All right,
he's like the true leader of the
That's
X-Men.
charitable.
Like he was willing to do what needed to be done. But Fantastic Four is probably above Cyclops. I'll give you that.
Yeah, but I'm with Fantastic Four. Kind of sucks, man. I don't fucking.
Excuse me, the first family in Marvel.
just not. It's just like not.
Reed Richards can stretch his brain out.
You know
Yeah,
his brain?
I guess that's kind of cool.
That's why
I
he's
don't
so
know.
smart.
Whoa.
Not only can you stretch your arms out and be all super stretchy and like, oh, I can get that can over there, but now I can think hella hard because my brain can keep growing.
What was Jessica Alba's power?
Invisibility and
just
force
going
invisibility.
away.
All
Just
right.
not appearing to be there.
Having a underwear
Invisibility,
brand.
right?
Yeah,
isn't she like a
Michael
billionaire now?
Chiklis as the Thing.
No.
Wait,
yeah.
is who a billionaire?
Isn't Jessica Alba like a billionaire? Like, didn't she like launch some crazy
Sure,
beauty
probably.
brand thing or something?
Oh,
if that's what going
that's-
away is, I'll fucking go away any day.
That sounds plausible. Like that's always what happens is these celebrities have their own brands and then they sell them and become billionaires.
Her husband has a very popular underwear brand, I think.
Okay. Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
Is Jessica Alba's husband.
I was like, is it Alta? Am I just thinking Alba and Alta sound alike? And that is what I was doing. That is 100% what just happened in my brain. Real quick, small little tidbits on Spider-Man 2. Insomniac is fixing a Cuban flag that they put up inside the house of Miles Morales, who is a Puerto Rican or of Puerto Rican descent, actually. So that's a little bit of an oopsie. That game, very good about representing New York, Puerto Rican culture. This is just... I looked at the flag. I saw it. I didn't I'm a dummy, so I didn't think anything of it when I saw it. And I'm like, maybe part of me is like, I noticed it because it's like, but I just moved on really quick. I could see that happening a little bit, but God, they're so good at this. It is a little surprising.
Yes.
That the studio.
Don't let that mistake, which is still a mistake and a big mistake.
Yes.
Take away from all of like the representation that they've been able to add to the game, please.
It's very good stuff in there, yes. So I 100% echo that. And then a number of Spider-Man 2 discs are failing to fully install the game. Mostly, it seems like in Europe, there seems to be kind of an epidemic of games installing from the disc, stopping at 36% or somewhere around there, and then they just won't work. You have to take it back to the store and get a different one, and there's no guarantee that disc will work. So some stores have stopped selling the discs entirely until they can get like a new batch from Sony. So, hey, if that's happening to you, you're not alone. You probably want to just actually call the store and not Sony to get that fixed. But yeah, good luck. Okay, sticking with PlayStation, the PS5 Slim and Spidey bundles have leaked, or at least their dates have leaked. The PlayStation 5 Slim will be released in November 2022 in the US and other regions. It will be available in two models, that standard edition with the disc drive, and then a digital one that's going to be $450. It sounds like Sony is planning to launch this on November 8th. At least that's what the leaker Bill Kuhn says. And this will be bundled with Spider-Man, and that's it. And it's going to be a $560 version. So it'll be the physical console with a disc of Spider-Man 2. And then 2 days later, apparently on November 10th, they're going to launch the regular slim PS5s without a game packaged in there. So they haven't given us a date yet. Sounds like it's coming relatively soon, though. And if that's the case, we got to hear about this, I got to imagine, maybe by the end of this week, but we'll see. Microsoft CEO says it's doubling down on being a game producer and publisher. Satya Nadella says the company is doubling down on its gaming division following its acquisition of Activision Blizzard. He believes that gaming is one of Microsoft's three main arms and that it is a growing market. The acquisition will make Microsoft one of the largest game publishers and will help them cater to a growing demand for gaming. I don't think anyone had the sense that Microsoft was retreating, but Satya Nadella keeps coming out and talking up gaming. What does that look like to you guys? What was a doubling down from Microsoft look like for video games?
I get a little bit scared because the CEO getting involved and just like, are you going to stop letting Phil and Booty cook?
Yeah, what's happening?
And that like you're going to double down too much and overcorrect when there isn't a lot of correction to be going on right now.
Right, just get the games out is kind of where they need to be, right?
Yeah, what that looks like is that Game Pass is going to be on everything moving forward, right? It's going to be on mobile. They're going to figure out how to put that bad boy on the Switch 2. It's never going to be on the PlayStation 5 or whatever comes next, but like Game Pass is going to continue to be a behemoth.
Yeah, I wonder if so Microsoft wants to make that mobile store that's going to be an alternative to Google Play and the App Store. That seems like an idea that can't work unless some sort of like backward regulation thing happens where these companies get in trouble unless they offer another store. And Microsoft's like, we have a store. You could put it on your phone, and now you're good with regulators. I wonder if they like try to leverage that and be like, and the same is true of consoles. We'll put PlayStation Store on the Xbox if you put Xbox Store and Game Pass on PlayStation. It seems crazy, but I wonder if they think that's a possibility with the way regulation is going. I don't know. Seems a tough one to pull off in terms of like what is possible. Hey, I think they are mostly moving in the right direction, but the games they're putting out, they need to just maybe do some of that Nintendo magic of just be Nintendo and take your time and make sure things are right before you before you announce them, even, because that's what they're at a point where like Perfect Dark has been announced for years and years and years, and we haven't seen anything of that thing.
Yeah, Grub, but we, take into account who they just acquired. And if you're telling them to take their time and be like Nintendo,
yeah,
I don't think Call of Duty waits for anyone.
Call of Duty does not wait for anyone. Although I think it's much more likely Call of Duty would skip a year now than when it was under Activision. Although I still don't think it's going to be skipping years.
It doesn't. Apparently, it doesn't know how.
Yeah,
it tried to do it, and
it fucked it up. It's like, fuck, we put out another one accidentally. It's
all he had to do was nothing.
Where'd this campaign come from? Who even made this? We don't know. It just happened. Yeah.
Were they supposed to take a year off this year?
That was the rumor, and that's you could tell by looking at what they're putting out this year. It is all the Modern Warfare 2 original maps. Like that's all of the maps that's in Modern Warfare 3. And it's like clearly this was supposed to be an expansion to Modern Warfare 2, the new Modern Warfare 2, and then they just kind of bundled it back together and like, actually, we'll release it for $70 and call it a whole thing. So, yeah, it's strange, but yes, they have a full Call of Duty game this year. All right. Let's jump to this next one, actually, Jan. Metal Gear Solid 4, 5, and Peace Walker allegedly referenced in Metal Gear Solid collection files. References to Metal Gear Solid 4, 5, and Peace Walker were found in the files of the recently released Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1. This could be a simple test during development, or it could be evidence that a second volume could one day include these games. Metal Gear Solid 5 is currently playable on modern platforms, but Metal Gear Solid 4 and Peace Walker have only been available on their native platforms. At one point during development, Metal Gear Solid 4 was allegedly running smoothly on Xbox 360, but it was never released for that platform due to technical and practical limitations. I think it's also because Sony locked it down. Yeah, okay, listen, they are going to do a Volume 2. They called this one Volume 1. And you can't do a Volume 2 without including Metal Gear Solid 4. That's what really matters here, right, Dan? What do you think?
Yes. Yeah, 100%. That's the one. And it's honestly, I think it's a really, really great game. I know a lot of people find it polarizing, but it's a shame that you have to hook up a shoot PS3 to play it. So
yes.
It's kind of why I don't consider it a mainline.
You can just say things
I have
on
my
podcasts.
reasons.
You can just say whatever you want on a podcast.
It's just like a personal thing that I've made and therefore is canon now.
It makes sense,
I just don't see it that way. I don't know.
It makes sense. Yeah.
When you explain it like that, of course.
It does. Yeah, it's hard to argue.
Look at that.
Back it up with stuff. Yeah.
Could they include anything? So, I mean, obviously, those three games, I think,
Acid,
are
Portable
yes.
Ops,
Right,
Ghost Babel.
Okay. I think that's right, too. I think those games really fleshes it out. But if they release it with just, 4, 5, and Peace Walker, that would qualify as a Volume 2 to me, and they can get away with that, I think.
Mm-hmm. Sure. 100%. I would love to see you play Metal Gear Solid 4. It would be hilarious to see you play it not knowing what happens in like 2 or 3.
That'd be fun.
You've only played 1, right?
I've only played 1.
Played
yes.
1?
I've only played 1 and 5. I really like 5.
Oh my God.
I love 1 too.
You going from 1 to 4 without knowing anything.
Let's do that.
That sounds hilarious to me.
All right, if this comes out, we'll definitely do it, but maybe we'll find reason to do it before that too.
Oh my God! It's the only one Bianca has played, and so I cannot imagine having no context of like even who Solid Snake is, and then just playing the most batshit game on the planet.
And I don't really remember the story of 1, but I could replay 1. Yeah,
watch. You can beat 1 pretty quickly.
Yeah,
I
would love to play it again. So
you should just do 1, and then we go to 4.
Okay, cool. All right, that's what we should do. That's fantastic.
That's like watching Star Wars in like not chronological order, but like numbered order.
At this point, watching in chronological order would be insane too.
Can you do that to a person? Like, should you do that to someone under 30? Like, make them watch 1 through 9 like
please,
that?
no. But if you like include all the bullshit side like Disney shows and stuff like that, you got a whole bunch of stuff you got to put in there. Fucking Obi-Wan.
Okay. I thought we were going to say Clone
I'm
Wars Rebels.
Clone Wars Rebels, fine. I'm fine with those at this point. I've actually been really enjoying Rebels for what I've seen of it. Obi-Wan is a crime.
It is kind of funny that like someone under 20, like you just can't ingest Star Wars in like a logical way. It's just like it's there now, you know. It's like like
I'm gonna present a similar thing for someone under 25 or someone that has never experienced the Lord of the Rings series. Do you start them with The Hobbit?
I don't know.
Definitely not. Absolutely not.
You don't start them with The Hobbit, and then
Well, Dan has a good take on this. You just love Lord of the Rings over there. What do you think?
No, they're all very boring. So you just don't watch them is the answer.
You
value your time more than that.
You make them read what's the Silmarillion.
Yes.
And then you like spin them around 4,000 times.
And you leave them in the woods.
Yeah, and then just like, you know.
I'm so glad
Return of the
Lucy
King.
is like terribly busy all the time that she doesn't jump in and just like
She can't
drop
do the Mike
kick
Minotti.
all of
Minotti
it.
isn't, and he's always a threat. So
I would love those pop-ins from Lucy to defend
That would rule.
Lord of the Rings.
Real quick, VGC just posted a Modern Warfare 3 PS5 Slim bundle has been spotted in the wild. So that's happening as well. Pairing that system up with Modern Warfare and Spider-Man, probably going to sell very well this holiday. Okay, last 2 stories here. Here's some fun ones. We've had all the bad stories. Let's have some fun news. Numbskull releases cologne based on Metal Gear Solid franchise. To coincide with the release of Metal Gear Solid Master Collection Volume 1, Numbskull has released a limited edition unisex cologne inspired by the game's iconic location of Shadow Moses Island. Haven't you always wanted to smell like Shadow Moses Island? I know.
Kinda, yeah.
I think I already do kind of smell like that,
Yeah,
though.
I'm okay with this.
Me too.
There's
Absolutely.
something about like this. Yeah, I want to know what this smells like.
You know what? I was initially very skeptical about this, but gamers are notorious for smelling bad.
Yeah. I'd rather them smell like an island than a gamer.
Yes, absolutely. Definitely.
All kidding. Like, I know that's the joke about cons and events, but like, it's pretty crazy that there's not been like one cologne or scented aroma company to be like, hey, we know it's tough.
Hey,
you know,
They made a WWF cologne once.
Oh,
I'm just saying, like,
Yes, and that
There's
is a
not been a
similar
smelly
fan
wrestling
base.
fan ever since.
Yes.
wow. Well, they stopped making the cologne grub. That's why they start smelling bad again.
Numbskull has released 3 previous video game colognes. Have you guys looked at this? If you haven't, don't.
oh, what are they? I must know.
Well, don't want you to guess. Give me just some guesses. I'll take
Crash
your
Bandicoot
Oh, that's like warmish.
Island. Oh, really? Fuck.
Yeah, you're like warmish there.
I spoiled myself. I looked.
Okay.
If it's
Jumping Flash.
Okay, I would 1
Oh,
million
this is-
percent wear that.
If it's warm to crash, what is it like a Ratchet and Clank?
You're getting a little bit cooler. Crash Bandicoot's warmish.
I am cool.
Jesus Christ.
What the fuck?
I'm upset by looking at all of these.
Okay. There's 3 different ones, and they're very different, but they are all Sega. So there you go.
Oh, so there's Sonic cologne.
Yes. Sonic the Hedgehog. That's where you
what
were
does
warm.
fast smell like? I'm not
Blueberry.
Sure. Blueberries.
Blue Slurpee.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I smell blueberries. It must be going
It's
real
like-
fast.
2 more, and they're nothing like Sonic, but they are very alike.
But they're
Oh, you know
Sega.
what I think would be a good cologne? Samba de Amigo.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Like you
yeah.
can smell a
Ooh,
little
that'd be good.
spicy, you know?
Mhm.
Absolutely.
And a monkey.
Shinmu cologne, and
that's-
Yakuza cologne.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Yakuza
Okay.
just makes sense.
Yakuza
Yeah.
definitely makes sense for sure. I feel like I can smell that game.
Like Kiryu probably smells great.
yeah,
Oh,
totally
yeah.
with the popped collar, and it's just yeah, absolutely.
Let me do a quick poll here. Who do you think, out of all the wrestlers I worked with at WWE, who do you think had the strongest, let's say, it's a cologne smell? It's definitely, like, who do you think is bathing in cologne? Like, you will smell him coming.
Triple H.
Miz.
Jan?
Corey Graves.
The Godfather.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, all
That makes sense.
He runs a strip club. He smells like oh my
like
god,
a strip club. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
You know-
I've gone into bathrooms like 30 minutes after he left, and I'm just like, he is still in here.
Oh, boy.
All right. Finally, Blizzard is giving away a Diablo-themed PC that's liquid-cooled with real human blood.
No.
Yeah,
No. We
Hey,
don't need
Blizzard,
to do this. We don't need
The
to do
fuck
this.
are you doing, you
Blizzard is
weirdos?
running a promotion called Blood Harvest, where U.S. citizens can donate blood to win a custom PC infused with real human blood.
People need that blood. Don't cool
They're
my
using
PC
the bad
with it.
blood. They're using bad.
All right,
That's what that
Taylor.
song
Because
is
blood's
about.
gone stale. Yeah.
Yeah.
it's-
Didn't Kiss do that with a? They did it with a comic book, right? Like they put their blood in it.
Yeah, like the ink or something
I
like that.
wish-
Yeah.
I
this
don't.
wasn't real.
Blizzard's definitely
you
the Kiss
could have
of-
just
of
told me it was red
developers.
water, like red dyed water. That would have been better.
The PC will include high-end components and will be themed after the Diablo game series. Yeah, we get it. In-game items will also be unlocked as more blood is donated. The campaign has already reached 27% of its goal.
Why did they do human blood and not like pig blood? I don't understand.
Or red water.
Yes, that too,
Yeah.
of course, Jen. But
Nikki
like,
reminds me of a thing with the Little Nas X tried to do something with like blood and shoes,
Yeah.
right? Whatever happened with that? Was there a backlash?
There was a backlash. I think Nike was like, please don't do that. And then I think Lil Nas X was like, all right, I won't.
He should be able to do that.
is blood also like a good coolant?
Yeah, that's what
I
I
think
was
it's
like.
supposed to keep you hot, like 98.6.
Yeah, that's what that
does it
thing is like,
coagulate if it
hot-blooded.
gets cool? Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know. They probably are mixing it together with some other stuff
With
to
coolant,
keep
yeah.
it liquid and actually make it work as a coolant.
Marcus said blood is human coolant.
Oh man. Okay. Yeah. Hey, knock yourselves out. I'm good. I'm good on this. I'll just donate blood for the hell of it.
It's so gross, and I love
yeah.
horror, spooky stuff, and this is terrible.
Listen, have fun though. Knock yourselves out. Jan, I'm done with the news. I'm handing the show back over to you. Thank
Every
you so
time
much.
we're about to go to a break today, it's just I just feel icky
Just
and I feel
blood.
gross. Now it's blood. Now before it was weird, interesting takes, but at least Dan was willing to look past that. I can't look past this blood. I'm gonna need to take a shower. We'll be break. We'll see.
All
I'm
right,
breaking
good.
He's
down.
done. He's done.
He's rattled.
Blood? Why? All right. we'll be back with email shout outs and then we'll end this goddamn show. And we'll see you after this quick break. Bombcast at giantbomb.com is the email address to send your emails to. Please don't send any emails related to blood.
Yeah, stop sending your blood through email.
Just don't do that, please, for
I
your
think
boys'
I
benefit.
think I'd like to smell like Elden Ring.
That has
I
like a
mean-
nice musk to it, right?
Yeah, yeah,
It smell like twisted metal.
yeah. That's just
I'm gonna
gasoline.
smell like chameleon twist,
Yeah.
like limey and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tonguey.
What do you
Yeah,
think
tonguey.
Mako from Final Fantasy VII smells like? I feel like it smells cold.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
like
Yeah.
it's like the green gushers.
Yeah, it's like green. It smells green and cold.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
going to describe
Uh-huh.
further what that means. And I'm also
It
just
smells like radioactive Russia is what it smells like. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, special shouts out to you, the listener at home. You've actually been getting an obscene amount of emails.
Right.
And I appreciate that. I read every single one. Sometimes we don't have the time to get to those specific emails, but I appreciate them. I read them nonetheless. First email comes from Splotch. Hey,
Swag.
if you arrange the letters in Kerbal, you get Backcolor. Kisses, Splotch. Thank you.
Not wrong.
Well, that fucking rules.
And spelled all fucked up.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, it's like
I want to play that Kerbal 2 again. I haven't touched it since it came out. I know it was released kind of early. It's in early access.
Was
but
that this year?
It was this year. Yeah.
Hey, I got another question of, was it that this year? Backcolor, when you played through Eternal Darkness, was that this year?
That couldn't have been
I
this year. There's no
don't
fucking
know.
way. Right?
That better fucking not be the trick.
I don't know, Jen. I want to say it has to be. Yeah, it had to be
How?
this year.
How?
Doesn't
It had to
have
this
to
year.
be.
It's fucking October.
Episode
it's
one.
It was absolutely this year.
Episode 1 was August 31st of last year.
Oh, thank
Of
baby
last
Jesus.
year?
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Wow.
boy.
Mm-hmm.
Time
What?
is a valuable thing.
Wait,
Watch it
Wait,
fly
wait,
by
wait.
as the pendulum swings.
wait a minute.
Yeah.
We've been at fandom for, I thought, a year.
Yeah, we were still under
We
RV.
started Red Ventures.
Yeah.
I don't
Your last
fucking know.
ep-
I
the
don't
final
fucking- I don't believe
episode-
any of you.
Final episode is January 12th.
Okay.
Of this
so it did
year.
happen this year.
Yes.
What do you have, like a fucking private Wikipedia you keep? I don't understand.
No,
Like,
we posted these videos on the internet.
Okay, buddy. Whatever you say there, chief.
Please, it's called Dickopedia. Come on, get with the times. That's a cool thing. That's a cool joke that the internet's making right now.
Oh man, that's. Huh. Okay. Anyway, take it away, Jen.
Next email comes from Aaron. Greetings, bombers. Aaron here from Stevens Point, Wisconsin, going 2 for 2, shooting a shot at an email hat trick. Jan, that's got to be worth podcast points or a badge or something. You know what? You get a commemorative podcast plate.
Ooh.
I've been listening closely as to what questions always float to the surface. So hopefully, this surgical strike will put me over the top in the leaderboards.
Uh-oh.
I'm what most people would call a pretty normal person when it comes to eating various foods. I may have some quirks that people bat an eye at, but only a few have caused outward hostility amongst friends, family, and even my significant other. I know when it comes to food, you guys have nothing but concrete, undisputed conclusions, so I hope you can put this one to bed for me.
Science, yeah.
Provided a tall glass of milk is available, what is the best way to eat an Oreo? I apparently have a monstrous approach where I'll bite the Oreo, or in some desperate cases, place the whole thing in my mouth, wherein the milk is sipped, swished once, sometimes twice to soften the lot, then chewed to completion. This is my rational approach, as I tend to have a negative reaction to debris in my drinks, and rarely are you getting away clean with a dunk from those creamy chocolatey bastards. I figure, why not bring the milk to the cookie? I humbly await your judgment. Best wishes, Aaron.
I don't know if I've ever dipped Oreos in milk.
Have you eaten Oreos? Yeah, the
Yeah,
nachos, obviously.
The
yeah.
nacho, yeah.
You've dipped
Oreos
Oreos in nacho cheese, but not milk?
I don't know. if
Hundreds
I've
of
ever-
Oreos and nacho cheese.
That's
I
true,
think
Peter.
0 in milk.
It's just like, I don't know if I've ever taken a walk. I don't know. I'm not sure I've ever put a hat on.
I mean, I don't very
I'm
often.
not sure I've ever
I don't think I've seen Dad with a
been in a
hat.
car. It's like,
Yeah,
He
like-
says his head's too big for hats.
it's
big
like,
fat head.
Find
Yeah.
one.
it doesn't- you've had cookies and cream ice cream before?
I love the flavor of cookies and cream. That's delicious. Yeah.
Well, that's Oreos and milk.
Yeah, cool. That's a cool,
Milk
that's a
and
cool
cream?
thing to know. I think like you see these people now who are doing this interesting.
No. We normally,
What?
I'm just willing to skip past it. I'm
What'd he
willing to
say?
skip past it.
I was going to skip past that. I can't believe Jan's following it.
What did he
Let's
say?
fucking go.
What do you say?
He said milk is in cream?
Dan?
I'm
He
assuming
said,
the answer is yes,
he said
based on
milk
the.
is in cream?
All right, we're
I
gonna
don't know
move
what
past this
cream. I've never had like sour cream, cream cheese.
You've
like,
never had.
what is
Anyway,
just like cream?
see,
What is just like shoot cream? What is that?
We're the dumbest bitches on the planet because all we do is we go, oh, that's a weird, funny hole in the ground. Oh, we should jump into it, and we just do it over and over and over again, and we don't learn a goddamn thing. We're the
I was
dumbest
ready to
motherfuckers
learn.
What is
ever.
cream for?
So I've seen a lot of people eat Oreos, and what they do is they stick a fork in the creamy part and then use that to like dip it into the milk.
You're being the bigger person right now. Yeah.
I know. So they do that and they stick it into the milk like that, so they don't have to get all messy.
You're like drizzling cream on your chicken. Like, I really like. What is the like use case for cream?
I'm just imagining you really drunk or just fucked up in a robe in a parking lot of a hotel screaming, "What is cream for?" until someone comes to
I've
find
never
you.
once. I don't know if I've seen cream.
Dan, it's
What?
used for one thing and one thing only:
What?
procreation.
Sure. Yes.
Next email.
No. Food wise, I'm serious. Does it cut? I don't know what container it comes in. I don't know what you put it on top of. I don't know.
You can make cream by like whipping milk. Like it's milk. Cream is milk.
Adding
Why
fat
not just
into
have
it.
milk then?
Because
It's
you need
just-
that. It needs to be like fattened up for certain recipes or
It's a
for
little more
certain taste
syrupy.
profiles. It does have a
So
different.
it's just milk?
It's
It's
just milk.
No. Okay. Just
Okay.
call it milk. Call it fat milk.
No, it's. I mean,
No,
it's,
because then there's the whole thing of whole milk and 2%.
right. There's like
And by the way, that's a racket too, because it all tastes exactly the same.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
as you do things to milk.
How could
things
you say
change.
skim milk and whole milk
Skim
taste
and whole
the
are
exact
identical. One of them like
That is
weighs
just-
less or something.
That is worth. That is. See, now I'm
Same
broken.
thing. Same
Now
thing
I'm
with
broken. I'm
Coke,
flopping
Diet
around in my
Coke, Coke
chair.
Zero, it's the exact same thing. It all just tastes the exact same shit.
Wait, does regular Coke taste the same as it?
No.
Regular
Coke?
Coke tastes the same as Diet Coke as
Okay,
Diet caffeine free.
Listen, by you saying this, you therefore invalidate any opinion you have about taste, about what's good
No,
and
my
what's
taste
not.
buds are
when
not
it comes-
good. Like we've established this.
All right, so why even have an opinion then? Why can't we just continue on with the fucking
I'm
email?
just saying it's indiscernible to me. Like a Coke, a full gimmick Pepsi tastes the same as a Coke Zero.
I hate that I know what you
What
mean.
does that mean?
I hate that I
I've
know
never
what you
heard an
mean.
asterisk in a sentence before. It's indiscernible to me.
We're inside a
he
hole
knows
right
he
now.
needs to say it, and he's like so afraid. Like I'm not giving into this shit. I'm not gonna say to me, but he did. He like gave in just a
Yeah,
little
exactly. He left the door open just a little bit.
I don't think
Listen,
you are lying to me if you tell me you taste the difference between Coke and Diet Pepsi. But
Well,
to
that
me,
should bring you a great deal of trouble. Then I feel
No,
like
there's
you
worse
should.
fates.
I feel like you should be like, oh wow,
being on
I'm.
this podcast with you.
If I'm you, I'm bummed out because I'm literally missing out on a fifth of all of the senses. I'm just like, well, I guess I could
wish my
just.
taste was better. Yeah, of course.
Hey,
I don't
Aaron,
believe that you lack the ability to do that. I think this is just more of your mainline bullshit. That's
Aaron,
what I think.
I want you to think about and be proud that you've been on 3 weeks worth of the email segment.
Hat trick.
But I want you to think about what you've done to us right now.
Yeah.
I
And
want
was
you
it
to
worth
marinate
it?
on that. Was it worth
Was
it?
it
And
worth
also, that is a weird way to eat Oreos, my friend.
I'm with Aaron on this. The crumbles in my drinks bothers me. I will bite an Oreo, put the whole thing in my mouth. So taking it apart or dunking was fun when I was a kid. I'm not saying it's for kids. I know people get hung up on that. But I am.
It's not
hey,
cheese pizza.
but I put away childish things as I become a man, though. So
Nice.
that's,
Here's
that's all I'm saying.
here's a freaky little compromise I'm willing to cross this bridge with you, Aaron.
Let's hear it.
Come with me. My arm's around you. We're talking here. Get less milk than you think you need, right? Don't fill it up
Definitely.
halfway. Get quarter milk, right? Crush up all the Oreos. Pre-crush them. Just throw them in there, and then drink that. Drink the slop.
Well, I mean, you could like mix it together and basically make put some ice cream in there, and then you got a
Yeah,
whole
I
thing
mean,
going.
we're really just describing like overnight oats Oreos. Like, let's do that. Let's
Holy
just go.
shit! I'm gonna
Overnight.
delete. I'm gonna delete this so we can do this. All right?
Yeah, I'm
All right.
into that. I'll do that with almond milk. I mean, oat milk, Jan.
Everyone listening right now, take off your headphones. All right, take your headphones off because we're having a secret planning meeting right now. This is how we become rich. All right,
This
cool.
is our brand. This is our Alba Altas.
Yes,
Yeah.
this is our Alba
Let's go.
Altas.
I do sympathize with the debris in the drink. Like, it took me the longest time to find orange juice with
put your
pulp,
headphones
like
back in.
acceptable. You know. So I sympathize with that, but
Okay.
I'm not mad at little
Hey,
bits of Oreo.
What's overnight oats? Like I've never done it.
Uh,
I think I
so
have a pretty good idea what it is, but yeah.
So they're
No,
just
no.
basically
Wait.
like,
Grub, you explain it first. What you think they are?
yeah.
You put something like you have a bunch of oats and you put like you put, like
You got that
I'm
part of the
assuming, like,
equation,
milk or
right?
something, and you leave it in the fridge and then like it like coagulates and then you eat it?
Yeah, I don't know if coagulate's the right word, but it absorbs the milk. Like
It is milk. Okay. All
yeah,
right.
or
Okay.
I use milk alternatives. I use alt milks.
Okay, so it's not just dry oats, right?
No.
No, they start off. You buy them like rolled oats or whatever. Like
Okay.
I get the TJ one that's like all the ancient grain things that's all mixed up together, and then I mix it up with like peanut butter, maybe like a tiniest little bit of like chocolate drizzling in there.
Throw in
too,
some
just
chia
little-
seeds. Be a little bad
yeah,
bitch.
cheese
Yes,
all over
yeah,
that shit. You know,
Some Thai spices.
Yeah, you're
sure.
basically, and the overnight is, it's like a slumber party, and they all just get together.
It's like cold
overnight.
brew.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
and then it
makes-
takes
that
overnight
makes
for them to
sense.
soak in. Yeah, that's all.
I asked because one time, me and Stephanie, back before she was my wife.
My wife.
My wife.
Thank you. We visited my parents, and right next to my dad's chair, dads, they have chairs. Right next to my dad's chair was just a cup of dry oats. And she's been fixated on this for years and years, where she's like, your dad just eats oats? What's he doing? I'm like, I didn't see him eat the oats, but they were next to his chair. They did look like they had been dug into, like eaten. And so I was like, is that, maybe he was doing some overnight oats shit? And it's like, no, those were just dry oats.
He was doing instant oats, which
Yes.
is the opposite. I think.
Instantly in his stomach, they were becoming oatmeal or something. So I don't know. Still a mystery.
All right. Next email comes from Ben, the UK, talking about a sensitive, hot topic. We're talking about AI, folks. Ben from the UK writes, Dear Bombcasters, thank you for making such great podcasts for so many years. My question is about fake AI or using AI as a buzzword. For a few years now, I've used an electric toothbrush that has a companion smartphone app. If you have the app open while brushing, the phone detects the gyroscopic position and angle of your brush and shows you which areas of your teeth you've adequately brushed. When I replaced my toothbrush recently, this feature has been flashily rebranded as an AI brushing assistant, despite no change in functionality. I often use this as an example when speaking to non-techie people about what AI means. My question to you is, what example of fake AI as a buzzword, etc., do you think we'll come to see in video games? Of course, the situation is muddled somewhat by the fact that players have been using the term AI to refer to computer-controlled players for years. Kind regards, Ben in the UK.
I would think that games are better than this. They don't want to use that AI buzzword.
Oh, it's
but no, it's
1,000,000%
gonna
coming.
happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucks. I don't know.
I mean, is procedural generation, is that technically AI?
Listen, I'm not great at like delineating between these things. If someone called it like, AI level creation, I would be like, whatever, and I would move on with my day. But we have a term for it, proc gen, procedural generation. Probably just keep using that.
Yeah,
This doesn't. I mean, listen, buzzwords are going to buzzword.
that's all.
Yeah, like it's going to be a problem, but like, people should be skeptical of all these things for sure. But at the same time, it doesn't bother me too much. So I just don't know what to like. I can't put myself in the mind of like a marketer to imagine like what they would start using it for that would rise to this level of a toothbrush.
AI
using fake
matchmaking.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Because you could call skill-based matchmaking like AI match partnering or something like that. Yeah, that stuff could definitely happen.
Or if you wanted to take over your like skill point distribution, they could be like, oh, AI, make your build.
Okay, now I'm back on board.
There you go. Yeah.
Instead of watching someone play a game, AI just plays the game.
I remember when HD had this impenetrable presence where like they were putting that shit on the back of pretty much anything, including like, windows and like literal glass and things that could not be HD, like a vacuum or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Glass has a lot of pixels.
Yeah.
That's right. And you have those HD glasses like for old people. Yeah, I remember those. We always see that on ESPN, the commercials for that. Yeah.
All right, folks, we did a little memory quiz on whether or not we remembered a game that was brought up. Cooper writes in again with another memory quiz. Hey, folks. Glad to hear that you all enjoyed the small quiz I gave you last week. Bacalar asked me to do another one for this week, so here you go. All of the games here are from the PS3 60 generation or sooner, so 2005 to 2023. Good luck. And this is just a simple whether or not you remember this. Eternal Sonata.
Yes.
JRPG.
Yes, the one about Chopin. And I remember this more now because apparently it's the one JRPG that Mike's brother likes, and he can never figure out why. He's like, why do you like this Chopin RPG? And he doesn't really have a reason. He just does.
Ancestors: The Humankind Odyssey.
Monkey game, yeah.
I like that game a lot.
that's not the monkey game.
It's
Big
the monkey
game.
game.
The
Whatever.
monkey game was Odyssey to the West.
No,
No,
that's
no,
Enslaved
this-
you're thinking of. This is a different
Yes,
game.
this is a different. This
Is
is
the
one about
actual
Two
game.
monkey Odyssey games?
No, this is
No.
not like not that kind of Odyssey. This is like you start as a basic primate, and then you eventually like evolve more human-like
the
qualities over time.
I'm thinking about the character who was just named Monkey.
Yes,
Oh, okay.
I love this game because it's a real weirdo of a
It's
game.
very weird.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I think it's probably off-putting to most people, but I'm like, I always want to go back and play more of it. I love
Weird.
Ancestors.
Tokyo Jungle.
Of course. Yep.
Okay.
No.
El Shaddai: Ascension of the Metatron.
Yes.
I think you mean Shane Bettenhausen's El Shaddai Ascension of the Metatron. Yes.
This was like a white background like game where like you were like a figment of like something, right? You were
Yeah.
sort of
Yeah, you're a
platforming,
purple
right?
dragon.
Platforming
Yeah.
action, stylish action game. Yeah.
Next, Greedfall.
Yeah.
No.
Greedfall? No.
I
No.
remember the name. I don't remember
they
what
did-
this game is like.
This
They
is
did
a
fall for everything.
This
huh?
is like an RPG, a computer RPG that came out recently that was kind of in between all these big ones, and people were pretty hopeful for it, but it kind of was like there wasn't much to it.
Vampire.
With a Y.
PYR.
Yes, I remember
Yes.
that.
Is this
Okay.
the Don't Nod game?
I think it might have been. Let me see.
That sounds right.
Yeah, don't nod.
Is don't nod like do not move your head?
I think so. I think that's what
Don't
they
you-
mean.
Like don't nod at me.
Oh,
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
That's
well,
how
I was
read
about
it, yeah.
to nod to confirm, but you told me not to.
Weird.
Yeah.
Don't nod.
Ruiner.
Yes.
No.
This is a
I don't know what that is.
it's a dual stick shooter kind of thing. It's pretty stylish. Not great, but pretty good.
Split Second.
Hell yeah. Racing around, buildings
yeah,
falling
combat.
down. Yeah.
It was a power up racer, right?
Yeah, it came out
Yeah.
around the same time as Blur. So there were like
Yes.
two like kind of
Walt
arcade
Disney's-
racers
this
that
is a
came
Walt
out.
Disney game.
Yep.
John
Yes.
Drake's Split Second. Yeah.
Yep.
Toem. TOEM.
Yeah, cutesy art style. Were you taking pictures of dogs or something?
Yeah,
Or-
that is what that is. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
last on the list here, APB Reloaded.
Yes.
Yeah. It
What
like
was
a
that?
GTA
It was
game?
a very ambitious kind of GTA like that had a big online component
shooter
that
kind of stuff
wound
to
up
it.
just not at all delivering on the promises.
That's right.
All right. Thank you, Cooper, for that email. Couple
Thanks,
more here,
Cooper.
folks.
Those rule. Thank you.
Couple more here. Joe in Michigan writes in, Wowie Zowie Bombers. It wasn't until this morning that I realized It's a Me is no longer Mario. My son, who is very into Mario, is growing up in a world where he'll presumably continue to grow and be different from the Mario of my childhood.
Mm.
What are some healthy midlife pursuits? I've been thinking about buying a boat since we moved out to the lake, but it seems like a lot of work. Much love,
The hell is
Joe in
this email?
Michigan.
Wait, so we're not talking about Mario? Like
No.
You guys, this happens with emails all the time where they have a little tidbit up front and then the question has nothing to do with that. That's,
Yeah, it's like-
That's my
classic
favorite
email.
style.
wild
come on.
card.
Yeah,
Healthy
wild
middle-aged-
cards.
Pursuits. Don't do the boat thing. That seems like so much work. Just
Oh
be
my
friends
God,
with
I
people
agree.
with boats.
Yeah.
Yeah, rent boats
I'm
and
working
become friends
out.
with people boats. Yeah, working out is the
working
one
out,
I was going to say
getting
too.
I'm doing like long walks every day,
Hiking.
and like that's been a good one. Yeah, hiking,
You know,
biking.
what's the name of the app? There's a hiking app that tells you the trails and
All
we're just-
trails?
All trails. So yeah, I just used this because we were traveling to Hocking Hills and there's a bunch of great trails down there. I used it, and then I got home and I'm like laying on my floor like being a piece of shit. I'm like, I wonder if there's trails around me, and of course there are.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
one a quarter mile away.
Everywhere. There's trails
I'm like-
everywhere.
and it's like 5-star rated. I'm like, this is better than any of the fucking trails I just went to on this trip I went on. I'm gonna go walk this thing. So it's like,
They're-
hike. Like,
trails are
like,
cool.
fully do it too. Like you could get in the bicycling as well, like and get the gear, but like get hiking shoes and the fun little like walking sticks and stuff like that. Make it a hobby. Like that's the way to do it.
That's the
with this stuff.
important thing. The healthy midlife pursuit is yourself.
Yeah.
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 Yes.
I like that.
Get better shoes across the board. Don't keep
Yeah.
wearing the same shoes or brand of shoes you wore as a kid or a young adult. Get that support,
That's impossible
baby.
for me, Jen. They're all out of business.
Oh, well. Sorry, Backler.
Okay.
They still make British Knights, the BK shoes that you get on Nickelodeon.
BKs. They
No.
must. Somebody owns that fucking brand. Someone must.
We should get sponsored by British Knights, just like Nickelodeon.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Oh, everyone's rocking. I don't know how you pronounce them. Is it Haka or Hoka? What are they? What are those? That brand?
Hoka.
Jan,
no
you-
idea.
Hoka.
Yeah.
Everyone's rocking that shit now.
They're good. They're like a slightly trendier New Balance. So good walking shoes, good everyday shoes.
Okay. I was at a bat mitzvah a little while ago, and all the kids now wear Jordans with dresses.
Oh yeah, that's a thing.
I didn't know that. I had not been anywhere where someone under like 20 was like.
Where's that come from, Jan? Who's like the progenitor of that look right now? Do you know? Olivia Rodriguez or whatever. Olivia Rodrigo.
Please, she doesn't wear J's. She'd never be caught dead. It conflicts with the brand.
Okay, I don't know.
I don't know.
Like, yeah, where? Why are we asking? Oh, Jay, yeah, sure. Where is it? You're
the youth like it. The youth love the J's.
Look, it makes
part of
sense.
it is a style and status thing, right?
Totally, because the people who were wearing Chucks didn't get asked to dance.
Oh,
that's right.
No,
someone made fun of my Hakeem Olajuwon shoes once at school.
That's fucked up.
Yeah, I thought so too.
It was Jordans and Converse Chucks. Like that's were the two sneakers of choice. It was I'd never seen anything like it, but I'm like, oh, this makes perfect sense. Like dress shoes suck. They're not comfortable.
Yeah, dress shoes do suck. When you think about it, our feet aren't meant to be shaped and crammed into those slim ass shoes.
What prick invented heels? Like, get the fuck out of here.
Where are you guys at with shoes these days? Because I was for a hot minute there, definitely trying to save money. Was just like getting a shitty throwaway pair from Walmart or Target. Whenever I like, oh, these shoes are wearing down. I'm at Target. I'll get another $35 pair of shoes. I recently did get a pair of Adidas before Summer Game Fest. I got Adidas. I can't say words. And I'm
we
still
love
wearing
you
them
for it.
Yep. And they're holding up, and they're like even like easier to clean, and it seems like I'm getting my money's worth is what I'm saying.
What kind of Adidas?
I don't fucking know. Just this kind.
Okay.
There you go.
Thank you for
absolutely.
Your
they were like twice as expensive as the shoe I normally buy. Basically.
Got it.
But
I'm pretty much an exclusive Ultra Boost Adidas person. I need the sock material.
You need the ups. What's Ultra Boost? What's that?
Ultra Boost is just like the heel material and like the knit sort of sock outer material. I've got feet that need to breathe, I guess. I don't know, and I need that softness on the outside. So I almost only wear like Ultra Boost.
And no complaints?
No complaints. They're my favorite sneaker.
I'm having a good experience with Adidas, so I think I'm going to stick with it.
Let me tell you. Let me convince you to join the congregation of Crocs.
Shit. Oh, it's just not happening. It's not
happening. I mean, I do consider it quite frequently. They're expensive, though.
It's just not.
Birkenstocks, yes, I understand, but it's a premium that you're paying for that adapts to your feet. Crocs. Let me tell you, folks. They'll reinvigorate those little bad boys you got at the bottom of your body.
Those look like Birkenstocks.
These are Birkenstocks. What I'm saying is Birkenstocks or Crocs.
Crocs?
Birkenstocks or Crocs, that old classic.
Let me tell you. Tam tried these on at the Bombathon last year and was like, "Oh, mate, where'd you get these from?"
Oh, mate, suck my feet in heaven.
It's like,
how would French Stewart react to them?
Oh, Jan, they look like potatoes for your feet. Oh my
God.
God.
Following me around.
Wow. I can put these on, just slip them on.
Listen.
Death Triangle.
The Croc stuff, there's something about it. And again, this comes from a place of pure judgment, folks. I'm not like, this is in no way me being like, they look uncomfortable. No, they look comfortable, but I just can't
Let me tell you, they make stylish ones now. Y'all saw the kidney bean looking ones I had?
I'm sure they do.
Like the bright ass pink ones?
Look, I just can't do. I don't know. Like
that's what I said.
If Post Malone like spoke for them, would you get him then?
He did. He has a line.
I just think when Post Malone go, Jeff Becklar follows.
How did you know that? I don't know. Like again, I would like try them on. How about this? My answer is like such a hard no until if I try one pair on and I am like blown away at their comfort. Then maybe I would consider like just a house pair.
Yeah, just a house pair. Hide your shame.
Yeah, I'm not going out.
Non-slip too,
like,
man.
This is what I wear.
Do you guys do flip flops or anything like that? I find them uncomfortable.
I don't slip on Skechers. Like if I just want to like go outside for something, like get the paper or something, I'll put on the slip on
Skechers. You said,
Yeah.
okay, that's a good deal.
All right. Last two emails. This one comes from Robert from Florida, writing in about the gimmick of the year. Hey, duders. Game of the year is coming, and I think we should revisit the laughs and memories we had together. Any addition come in mind? They've presented several categories here. Work of the year, where we celebrate a crew member bamboozling another. Potential nominees. Satan becoming a frequent guest in Eternal Darkness.
Sure.
Love Satan.
Dan's alternate Dan appearing in the background. That's
Name is Chris.
Yeah, that's just a friend.
They don't know. It's fine. Don't take offense to that. Okay.
You have him in the corner, just like chained up.
It's a big closet. It's a big closet. It's fine.
Bunyello making Bunyello's Mike Minotti song. It's pretty up there.
This is good.
Okay.
Now we have Shoot of the Year, where we had a genuine laugh together about something. Potential nominees. Dan realizing there's loading screens between counting boxes in Sonic 06.
Yeah.
Film in 40s Annette, I'm not that drunk.
Not that drunk.
I'm not that drunk.
I'm a good father.
We are so in love.
We should just do an annual Annette.
We should
film.
do
Game of the
Annette
Year
with every
musical.
film in 40s. Every film in 40s should be a double feature with Annette.
Oh God. Jesus.
Let's do a sandwich of Annette. Start with Annette, actual movie, then Annette.
Oh, Jesus.
The Annette
Christ.
sandwich, yeah.
No, it can't be.
And last nominee for Shoot of the Year, Robo Mitch getting drilled at the end of that tunnel.
Sure.
So fucking funny.
That was
Yeah,
pretty good.
a perfect moment.
Gimmick of the Year, a category that explicitly doesn't have a definition. Potential nominees. Jan's Red Beanie. Jim Ryan quitting Sony. Lucy James being okay with WikiFeet because her rating is good. Love you all. Robert from Florida.
I really like Gimmick of the Year, and that anything can go in there. That's
I like
a
that.
good
We could
bit.
do that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good bit.
Okay.
That's like the one
That's
year we
very
did the
good,
letter of the year.
Yeah.
And then J1,
Oh
surprisingly.
yeah. All right.
Uh,
Type it in. Gimmick of the year.
all right. Last email of the show, and thank you once again, everyone, sending your lovely emails to bombcast@giantbomb.com. Corey from Atlanta writes in, hey guys, my 6-year-old says bruh a lot. Does he suck?
Oh, this is such
That's
a
like
good
that
question.
age. That is the one age I think where it would be cool.
That's true.
Yeah,
You know?
I mean, they all. Mine's 8, and they all do it too. Then it's more bro. They like
What?
evolve from.
Okay,
bro, I
8
think.
is too old. Like that at that point, because they're like
Yeah.
fully functioning.
Well, they say bro. Everything is bro. Like, bro, did you see the size of that
No,
car?
see, that's
Like,
not funny or endearing. Like a 6-year-old is young enough to be funny saying bruh.
yeah, same,
Yeah,
bruh.
Yeah, that's funny. That's funny.
We there was a moment in our lives where we were all saying fat. Like that was a cool
Sure.
thing to do. So
Yeah.
like, look,
Dan wouldn't shut
you
up
only-
about it.
Yeah, you only get to be a kid once. So
Yeah.
I would just look your kid dead in the eye, Corey from Atlanta, and after he says bruh, just go swag
yeah.
and
That's how you
walk
deal
away
with
from
that.
the room.
So
As a
it's not gonna
parent.
work for me, brother. Just walk away.
Thank you once again for sending all of your emails to bombcast@giantbomb.com. We got a couple shout outs here starting now. These are the shout outs for the show. Write in your shout outs for the show. Shout outs. Is Metroid Dread a mainline Metroid game? It's 2D and has a title instead of a number. Smiley face.
It's mainline.
Ryan Cabrera. Dan's right. Mario Wonder isn't a mainline Mario game, just a fun side experiment. Skibbity Toilet. Shouts out to my boy Nick. The reason why Jan should stay away from Warhammer, bro bought a starter box within 3 months, lost his job, his wife, his kids, and his house. By the end of it, he was in the back alley of a Games Workshop trading HJs for model paints while screaming, "For the Emperor!" R.I.P. Nick died doing what he loved, playing Warhammer and slinging HJs. Brought to you by asking your partner post-coitus if it was a work or a shoot.
That's good.
Jan, you look great. Bacalar, you look great. Grub, you look great. Alucard
you.
from the hit series
good.
Hellsing Ultimate. Swag. Pizza. I named my season of Blood character Carefree. Salt Lick and 24 checks, please.
It's thunderstorming right now, and it's too dark to see the Salt Lick.
I've been watching Rebels instead. I'll get back to 24 soon.
Hey, Nose, fuck you. Happy birthday, JC Tucker. Shouts out to Mike. Never saying a flower is another name for a vagina ever again.
Oh no.
I know we can't say the C word anymore, but is cum still on the table? If it is, what about a PC cooled by Crumb.
You said you should have said Crumb first as well, I think, there.
Daisy is overrated. Should have been Rosalina in Wonder instead. Trying to hurt our boy Mike, huh? Rosalina is mid too. Don't make me fight y'all. Pointing up emoji. How fucking dare you? Love, Sean. I have to leave soon. Can someone shout out Jess's new product where she's editing, sound designing, and voicing in a new D&D podcast, Skull Tenders? Dan,
Cool.
you have a normal head size. The Haberdasher. 2 million podcast points to you, the listener. I don't condone this. And shouts out to babies. I guess.
Shout out, babies.
Yeah. What's up, baby?
They haven't done shit, though. You're right. They don't deserve.
That's true.
It's
They are
questionable.
useless.
Get a job and then we'll talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can accrue a balance, but you can't hold on to the actual points. Folks, we got a jam-packed week, as it turns out every week is a jam-packed week. Game S mornings for the rest of the week. Blight Club. New season starts tomorrow.
Yes, I've apparently tasked Grub's wife with doing impossible things with clothes. So we'll see. I think I know what the problem is. Hey, Grub, can you take the... Well, I don't want to spoil... Oh, yeah, then take your headphones off for a second.
Yeah.
God.
Can you not iron like patches onto denim?
I assumed iron-on
You
patches were iron-on patches
Yes,
for a reason.
Dan, iron-on patches have glue on the back that melt.
Wait, are the ones that I bought, are they...
Probably not, you dumb motherfucker!
Let me see if it says anything about irons in this. Because, yeah, I just told her, like, probably just iron them on real quick. There's like 20 patches.
Dan!
I'm trying to see. Sorry, I have to scroll through 8 pages of anti-woodpecker stuff in my Amazon history. Hang on.
Dan, for real, that is... Come on, dude.
Okay, here it is. Oh, no, wait.
Come on, dude.
So or iron-on patches.
Oh.
Well, dude, iron-on patches have like an adhesive on the back of them.
Okay, and so you can just put that on denim?
Should be able to, yeah.
Then I don't know what the problem is.
I don't know.
Okay, well,
I'm going to abstain.
You have to ask them, be like, oh, is it, maybe you had a choice to choose between iron-on or sewing.
Maybe
That
there was
could
like
be
an
a thing.
option, Dan, of like, you want this size or that
Shoot
size.
me your receipt. Let me see your receipt.
Here, let me show you just the
All right, we'll
Amazon
show it on the
listing
side.
here.
We got to get Grub back.
I'm going to put it in the chat here if you want to take a look at it, folks.
Well, won't Grub see that?
Well, yeah, I don't want people to see it.
Yeah,
It's
so
funny.
DM me. And
Okay.
well, let's bring Grub back. I feel bad.
Yeah.
Grub, over here. Just reading Nintendo.
All right, there you
Power.
go. There you go. Backlar, you got it.
All right. Like we said, new season of Blight Club on Thursday. Another episode of Game S Mornings, but we also have the Mario Wonder Grand Prix. We're just going to be racing for times in Mario Wonder. I don't know which courses we're going to do or levels. We'll figure it out as we go by.
Figure it out. Yeah.
Are you the game master, Jan?
Sure, I guess.
Okay.
I got to play more of that game then. Voicemail dump truck popping off this Thursday, as well as another episode of Friday Night Forking. Everybody, it's the 4th of July. Game Mess on Friday. And then what we also got popping off is a UPF. Still kind of up in the air, but we're thinking spooky themed.
Yep.
Spooky.
That's right.
Spooky. Gentlemen, anything else popping off you want to plug, talk about?
We said forking. No, I don't. I think
We're good.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, have we explicitly been pushing what we're doing for Extra Life yet?
We started talking about it.
Yeah.
And also, I got my flight, so.
Okay, and so did Minotti. So
Yep.
All right. So that's right. The weekend after the SF team is congregating for 12 hours, we're going to have the Midwest team, the East Coast team, congregate together. Middle Coast. Yeah, the Middle Coast team. Dan, do you want to share what the team, what y'all are doing, or is that
we're
still
going
in
to
the planning
stream
phases?
for a long time. We need to start having the chat, but like I've got a bunch of like WarioWare comes out right before that. Like there's Mario Party will likely happen. There's many different options. We'll start getting together a real
He's
run
got
show.
a prison cell bunk bed situation for me to sleep in.
I do have a triple.
right.
I have a triple bunk bed. So him and Minotti, yes,
get to enjoy
it's gonna
those.
be great.
On that first weekend, I want to do some little stream that I'll probably stream for like 12 hours, and I want to do some DDR. I'm gonna get DDR set up and play some of that. So yeah, I'll do some of that, and then we'll head to Dan's, and it'll be fun. We'll be in person. We said some brute force. We'll see if that gets played. We'll see.
I did. I bought brute force, so I have that.
There we go.
Lovely.
All right, looking forward to it.
Well, stay tuned to the website. Lots of wonderful things popping off. Once again, if you missed the announcement at the top, we now have a GameSpot review podcast called the GameSpot Reviewcast. Go subscribe to that. And hey, while you're listening to this, I don't know, thumbs up the video or podcast, review the
Tell a friend.
podcast. I don't know,
Yeah.
comment and stuff. I have
Take your friend's phone,
subscribe
download
to
the
it.
podcast, and subscribe. It's like, do that. Mess with that.
We spoke about brute force our way onto your friend's phone. Do that. And then we'll see you next week for another episode of the Giant Bombcast. I've been Jan. He's been Jeff. He's also been Jeff. He's been Dan. And you at home, drink some water today. Stretch. Wiggle your hands a bit. And then, we'll all party, reconvene next week for another episode of the Giant Bombcast. Smooches. Mwah!